happen. I'm so sorry. I'm going to wait a moment and let other people come on because we were in the middle of a live and the YouTube app crashed. Coming up on this Mercury retrograde here very soon. So I think it's expected. We've been feeling it for a while, but it's already here. I'll give you guys a moment. Hey, Karen. Hi, honey. Can you guys let everybody know we're on the other side from the cutoff? Sorry, guys. Crash. I don't know what happened. Oh, you're back. Asad Usman. Yay. Karen, Paula, Katrina Bailey. All right. So what was I saying? Anyways, I don't know what I was saying. We got cut off. What was that about the moon and Mars again? No, the moon and Rahu with the Mars Monglik person, okay? The moon and Rahu would be a very strange mind, maybe even a devious mind. And it depends on what sign it is. Maybe you've got the moon and Rahu in Scorpio, or the moon and Rahu in even Virgo for something like that. A lot of OCD stuff going on there. Think of American Psycho, right? So, but Mars has to be definitely there in that house with them or aspecting. But that's a whole nother reading, a whole nother story, a whole nother day. But, you know, just touching on that for the Monglik people. So anyways, let's get into seeing what's going on with these cards. Ooh, we have the moon card, guys. We got the moon. Look at that. So Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer vibes. You all know this is my Cancerian card. All right. Again, these are my cards. I've created these. These are available on my website if you're ever interested. Anyways, so you've got the moon there with the two wolves and howling with their instincts towards the full moon. They can't help it. They're being drawn. Everything's being drawn. The tide is being pulled in. And so emotions are coming to the surface. Please, if you're watching this video right now, stop what you're doing and go to part 1. Watch from the beginning of part 1. It was only about 15 minutes long. It showed the shuffle. It showed what I pulled these cards for, the reason, what they're about, and what a Monglik is. So if you want to know if you are not, please go watch part 1. The explanation is in there. Okay? All right, so then we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Hopelessness in reverse. And then we have the Queen of Wands. And I'm so happy to have her in this kind of a reading. She's fiery. She does represent that feminine Monglik energy. The Queen of Wands is a feminine Monglik. You can tell. As you can see the description that I said in part 1 of these videos, please go and watch that. She has that muscular feminism, that Mars. She's even got the helmet of war. This is what you would see in a female with a Monglik energy in the first house. If she had Mars in the first, she would definitely come off very much like this, okay? So very dominating person. In control, sexy, takes good care of herself. She's the boss and she's the conqueror. She's a, you know, don't mess with me kind of person. And even if you're a male in this energy, this is how you're coming off. Don't mess with me. The King and Queen of Wands kind of vibe, right? The next card is the Lovers card. So happy to have this in today's video. These are Monglik people too. Look at them. Just, oh yes, yes, yes. They're intimate. They're unafraid. They're sexual. They're spiritually connected. They desire one another. They are perfectly paired, perfectly matched, representing that soulmate vibration, also representing that twin flame vibe for many of you. But notice the snake right there tempting them. The apple represents knowledge. The apple's always represented knowledge and wisdom, education. So they are wise in each other and wise in the universe. And they're just intelligent people here, attracted to one another in ways more than spiritually. Let's keep going. The Queen of Swords. We got some queens up in here today, all in the feelings. To be honest, you know, queens are feelings and kings are actions. The collective group right now is really into their emotions and they're bottled up. So all of your feelings need to come out. You guys need to purge. There's certainly some purging that needs to happen. Queen of Swords has been wounded and hurt. She's a no fuck with me either person. The fire element and the air sign element, which is ice, which is air in the tarot, are both masculine. So out of all the queens, out of all the queens, you've got the wands and the swords. Both of them are masculine females. Okay, really talking about that Mars energy of the masculinity. All right? And even if you're a male in this energy, you might have a masculine, feminine energy. You know what I mean? So it can go so many ways. The next card here is Judgment. So looking back and judging yourself. What have your decisions been? This is a reflection. 100% from start to finish reflection. Reflection on one's journey, and especially in detail, reflection on one's intimate relationships, which is why we're here watching this video today. Do you have chemistry? And that was the main purpose of my video. Do you? And like I said in the beginning of part 1, I've been inspired by your comments. Do you have chemistry with the one you consider your soulmate, your twin flame, your husband or your wife, or the one that you are pursuing? The question is, do you have chemistry? And then I said earlier, people always say in society, it's cliche almost, opposites attract. Yes, they attract. But what about chemistry? Put it this way. An extrovert may be really attracted to an introvert because she's shy. Let's just say there's an extrovert male. Let's do 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, Christian Grey and the girl that he was into. She was an introvert. She liked books. She was a smart little bookworm. She was a virgin. She was inexperienced. She was not a Monglik, so we thought, okay? Let's just use them as people, and because let's pretend we don't know the whole movie. There's this sexy guy who's super masculine, dominating. Let's say he has Mars in the first house, and he wants to dominate, which is pretty much Christian Grey. And he finds the introvert female. But let's use an example that she does not like sex. She does not like being dominated. She would not tolerate that. She is more religious or spiritual. And she would rather pray every night and every morning with a husband than have sex. Let's say he found someone like that. She was just as cute and sexy and introverted, but she was not turned on and did not allow him to fulfill his pleasures with her. Do you think they would have had chemistry? They would not have had chemistry. They would not have had it. Because even though opposites attract, and he would have been turned on by her, and she probably would have been turned on by him because he's outgoing, sexy, charming, and rich, when it comes to intimacy and a marriage or relationship, if they are not chemically attracted in a way where their chart does not line up together, they could not be a couple. They could not be a couple, and if they were a couple and there was marriage, she would always feel raped, abused, mistreated, used up, used for her body, not her mind, used for physical carnal pleasure, not for her heart. She would feel like that person does not love her, and she would be very unhappy in that marriage. And the husband would feel like she's not interested in him at all. She's not turned on by him at all. She doesn't want him or desire him at all. He will think he repulses her. So all of this opposites attract would be a complete disaster. A disaster. And this is why in India, a lot of parents to this day do matchmaking, and they want their children to be matched up with the same. So 2 Mongliks should be together. A non-Monglik and a Monglik should not be together, because that would be what I just described. Okay? What I just described is someone who's spiritual, maybe educated and smart, and just not turned on by physical, sexual energy. Maybe that introverted female would be sexually turned on by someone very intelligent. Maybe if someone was scrawny and wore glasses, but had the mind of a genius and was an inventor, and that person was an eloquent writer, maybe reading his books or hearing him lecture would get her panties wet. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying here? That person has a sex drive. It's just not for that Monglik man. It's not. The Monglik man wouldn't do it for her, doesn't get her panties wet. That Monglik man, that person would be repulsive to her. And she would be disgusted and angry and just fed up with that if you had paired them together. But now let's use the example here. And I told you if she met someone matched for her, she would be all turned on and they would be having good sex whenever they want. But if she was with someone who wasn't into sex as much as that man, she would be fine, because there is a very big difference also that I should mention. People that are non-Monglik, I'm just going to say non-Monglik, their sexual drive is weak. I'm not making fun of anyone. I'm just saying that everyone's sexual drive is ruled by Mars. Men and women, both of us, our carnal sexual pleasure and drive is ruled by Mars. If we have a very weak Mars, or a Mars in a placement that is just not turned on anywhere, our sexual drive and energy will be very low. Low libido, low, testosterone or whatever it is, low T levels for men. A badly placed Mars would be just someone that does not have sexual drive. And you'll see in older people, in some, it changes, because let's say they get prostate cancer. There's an issue with Mars because the sexual organs are ruled by Mars. So someone that may get prostate cancer early or have prostate issues, impotency, struggle and have a difficult Mars, okay? And you can see that prevents them from having sex, or it inhibits them. And for a woman that has issues with her sexual organs, which is that Scorpio house, 8th, ruled by Mars, if a woman has some sexual issues down there, whatever's going on internally will cut off the sex drive completely. People that have dialysis struggle for having a sex drive because it's painful. People that have uterine cancer or, something going on down there, cysts, situations, even rape and, physical deformities or, situations, whatever, I'm not going to go into it. They have a low sex drive. Kelly Ellie, we have a comment. I'm okay with not having sex every day, but if we do have sex, we will have a baby. Okay. Who likes making babies is a Mars in the 7th house and a Mars in the 4th house. Those people love making babies. If you say, I want to make a baby with you, that's a turned on word. It's like you just spoke heaven in my ears. Let's make a baby. Like they get psychologically turned on. especially in signs of Cancer, Cancerian, in any of those aspects, or the moon. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm going to hurry up. What about the 6th house? Mary, Mongliks do not have a Mars in the 6th house. So non-Mongliks can be Mars in the 2nd, although Mars can be Monglik in the 2nd. There's kind of a 50-50 chance there, 50-50 chance. But Mars in the 3rd house, the 5th house, the 6th house, the 9th house, the 10th house, and the 11th house are not Mongliks. They're non-Mongliks. So anyways, it's kind of funny to know that Mars in the 5th wouldn't be a Monglik, because that's about dating and pleasure, but oddly enough, it's not. It's just not. Oddly enough, it's just, it doesn't qualify as a Monglik, which still kind of baffles me, and I'll research more into that. But anyways, let me continue so we don't stay too long today. If you want to have a Monglik person with a Monglik person, that's a perfect match. Okay? And if you guys are just coming in, please watch part 1. And I will discuss in part 1 of this video. I got cut off. Somehow the app crashed. And I have a complete description of what a Monglik is. So please go to part 1 and watch that, and you'll get filled in on very important information for the rest of this reading. Don't miss it. So anyways, if you're going to get 2 Monglik people together, it's what you would think is a perfect match, but sometimes it's not. And I'm going to tell you the good and the bad in this. The good with 2 Monglik people together is sex is insane. It's full of pleasure and passion. There's extreme orgasms. You can almost just see God through your intimacy. Okay? So there's a lot of spiritual, depending on the house, awareness, and it's really making love to the soul and the body. So it's intense and it's very fiery. There, like I said, there could be a lot of fetishes involved with these people. You have seen people that have multiple wives, or, you know, lots of relationships with these Mongol people, because they enjoy the act. So when you meet a Mongol with a Mongol, a Monglik with a Monglik person, they've already had pleasure, I'm sure, elsewhere before they've met one another, unless they're very young, you know, 16, you know, 15 or something when they meet. But generally, Monglik people have had experience, secret experience, and they know how to make the other person feel good. So imagine meeting that partner that knows how to pleasure you. Woo, you met a Monglik. They know how to pleasure you. And what if you get 2 people that know how to pleasure one another? Fireworks. Fireworks. You've both basically gotten each other addicted to one another. So this can be a very intense relationship where the both of you can become so addicted to one another, and it's the most beautiful, fiery, sexual relationship you've ever had if you're a Monglik. But the fire can dwindle down if sex becomes mundane, ritualistic, or just part of the plan or the schedule. Monglik people don't like that. They like surprise. They like sex to be like a movie. I mean, it could be a movie like La La Land, where you set up the perfect kiss scene. It's raining, the city's far away, the lights are glistening, you're under a tree, you're talking to one another, holding hands, and it's like the perfect moment for romance. Or it could be the Christian Grey. Let's go to the sex room, you know? But for Mongliks, it's got to be intense like a movie. They're very much in fantasy in their mind because their desire is for ultimate conquer. And they don't want to conquer the same thing over and over again because Mars gets bored. So let's talk about Mongliks getting bored. Mars represents the flag. You know how we went to the moon and we put our flag on the moon? Or we go to Mount Everest, we put a flag on Mount Everest. We've conquered this mountain. We've conquered going to the moon. Does it really turn you on to keep conquering the same shit? Does somebody want to climb Mount Everest every year? Does it do it for them every year? Maybe. 1 in a million. What about going to the moon over and over? Is it all over TV? Is it making major news? No, it's not, because we already conquered it. We've already conquered it. All of these discoveries that are brand new is Mars. I conquered something new. If Mars feels like I'm conquering something somebody else already conquered, or I already did, I'm not into it. So again, with Monglik people, there has to be constant creativity in the marriage bed. Otherwise, that partner will stray. And that, unfortunately, is the worry and is the shadow side with Monglik people. Right? Either adultery, cheating, or just many, many partners. Okay, from a lack of satisfaction with one. However you want to look at it. That is a shadow side, and that is a worry. And you could be the one doing it, or your person can be the one doing it. But when you have that Monglik energy, there is always a door open for that possibility. And to be honest, it's about 50-50. There's a 50-50 chance that's going to happen in a Monglik relationship. That's a high percentage. And that's a high risk. And this is why most parents, almost all parents, that arrange marriages in India and other places, there's other places in the world too, I just can't think of them. When they look at the astrology of it, they say, oh, that boy's a Monglik? No. He's not marrying my daughter. My daughter will not marry this person. Hail to the no. Hail to the no. I don't care how good looking, how charming, how rich. Get her somebody else. Unless it's like the Maharaja, then I guess, you know, he had concubines. So, okay, Monglik, let him have it. At least she's a, you know, an empress. Whatever the fuck. But most of the time, it's a no. And the same with a man. If a man is being tried to be paired together with a female that is a Monglik, most parents will say no. No, he's not having that female. She's going to be erotic. She's going to be too sexual. She's going to be non-spiritual. She's going to be maybe cheating on him. No. There could be arguments, fighting, domestic violence. You know, no. We don't want that for our boy. So there's always that fear. But a lot of parents, when they do the pairing, if they see that their child is a Monglik, the matchmaker or the astrologer will try to find them another Monglik. And even though there's a 50-50 chance that there could be adultery or there could be, you know, a lot of passion and fire that's not just love in the home, they'll pair them up because usually they tend to stick together for life. Some can, and a lot of them can. Because if you have two fiery people that are passionate about themselves and each other, that can be a passionate, beautiful relationship that can last for a lifetime. They could be married 60 years and be passionate with each other the entire time. Totally infatuated and in love. So there is that possibility also. And, you know, always remembering that marriage is work. You have to work at these relationships together. So being a Monglik is not a woohoo, but it's not a, you know, a womp either. There's good and there's bad in every situation. Being a non-Monglik can be beautiful. You can see people as a non-Monglik that are both very devout spiritual believers in some religion. Okay? And they pray and they worship all the time, and sex is maybe an afterthought. You know, sex is after they've prayed together, gone on vacations together, built a career and a home together. Sex is just, you know, think of like let's see, a marriage of convenience. People that get married for money, people that get married for children, people that get married for religion. Some of those relationships can last. Think about, let's see, two people that have a very important career. Maybe they're book writers. Let's just say one's a director and one's a book writer. They're so busy at work. Their love, their passion, their Mars may be in the 10th house or the 3rd house. Okay, that's a good representation there. And those people's drive and passion and is writing and creating and making movies and writing books and sharing thoughts intellectually with that whole mercurial influence. And Mercury, by the way, is hermaphrodite. It's neither male nor female. So people that have a Mars and a Mercury can be very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. And if their Mars is not in a Monglik house or in a Mongol dosha, then they won't be a Monglik person. And they'll be just very intelligent and be very into something and not into each other. Their passions and desires are not turned on by the body of their partner. And I'm not trying to confuse you, but I just want to give an example of that. They may just not be into sex because their passion and their romance is in the mind. It's in the mind. Well, Hitler is, that's probably, let me answer your question. Hitler has Mars and Mercury in the 1st house. Universe never fails. I bet you that is a tropical Western information you gave me, which would probably mean he's still a Monglik in the 1st, but the 12th is where he's the Monglik, which would make a lot more sense because of his beliefs and his illusions and his secrets, secret love affairs. I don't know. Oh, it's Vedic. So sexual, masculine, strong, powerful, dominating other people. There you go. Hitler is dominating other people. That's the Mars in the 1st house dominating the 7th house, which is others. So yeah, he is definitely, can be also strongly seen in that and dominating his partner as well. For sure. Anyways, you know, this example of the two Mongliks not being together intimately often is fine for them, and nothing is wrong with that. I don't want us Monglik people to say, wow, they have a shitty life. They don't get to enjoy sex and passion. Their love is passionless. Don't say that, because a non-Monglik person is full of passion. It's just not sexually. It's not intimately. They find passion in the universe and in books and in creative projects and in career and in children, or maybe no children at all and just themselves. But that's their passion. And it isn't any less meaningful. It's just different. And so we get back to the Mongliks, and nothing is wrong with being a Monglik. Your passion is into the body, into the physical, into the beauty of creation. And if you guys, you know, all of us have probably had sex, I'm assuming, unless you're super young watching my channel, but we've all felt the passion with our partner. And you all know how it takes you to another world. You all know how it makes you feel on the inside. You all know the creativity that spurs out from you, the buildup of serotonin, the buildup of like a drug, like an addiction. And for Monglik people, it's even more intense. Their orgasms are even more intense. Their determination and drive to please their partner is even more intense. So when you get those two Mongliks, now I'm going to get back to Christian Grey and his girl. Yes, she was an introvert, but she was a Monglik. She was a Monglik in the movie. She was an opposite than him. They weren't both Mars in the same house, identical to each other. They didn't both have Mars in the first. They were opposite. And this makes more sense. Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey has Mars in the first house. But his spouse, the woman he was into, has Mars in the 7th house. And that's where you see the 1-7, the opposites that attract. And that's where you see in the movie their passions come to life. Because even though she was a virgin, even though she was naive to all of that, she opened up like a flower and her passions grew. And she enjoyed pleasing him. She enjoyed being dominated. She found pleasure from this. And they even had a child. I mean, she was there for the long haul. She wanted to do this. She had her limits. She didn't want to completely be overran. Just like I told you, Mars in the 7th is what? I'll let you dominate me in some ways, but you will not dominate my life. And in the movie, when he wanted to control where she was and this and that, she did bark back at him. Just like a Mars Monglik in the 7th. Don't tell me where I can and cannot go. I went to lunch with my sister and that's that. You know, so there is a bark back, but there's also, I will allow you to dominate me. And so it's a perfect pair. And you can see how that worked for them in the movie. So anyways, I'm going to move on from that. I gave you examples on how that's going to work. You guys can pair up in your own charts if you're a Monglik or not. I recommend you look on, well, you first have to Google Vault of the Heavens Lahiri Ayanamsha. A-Y-A. Aya. Okay, Aya. It sounds like, it looks like, it's spelt like Aya, but it's Ayanamsha. And Lahiri is said like Lahiri. Lahiri. So if it's hard for you to spell, just sound it out that way. But Vaults of the Heavens, Lahiri Ayanamsha. And if you Google that, you'll be able to pull up a website where you can see your Vedic sidereal placements, your nakshatras, which is the degrees your planets are in, and you can look at all your divisional charts. Okay? All 30 of, you can go all the way down to the D30, D9, all of the charts, and you'll be able to make sense of what's going on with you. Monglik with Saturn in my 7th, both Saturn, Mars in 7th, is very tough here. Yeah, Saturn wants to restrict. Whenever you guys look at planets, and I'm going to go more with this in the astrology class, but just to help everyone out that's not taking the class, just a little tip. Whenever Saturn is placed somewhere, I want you to think of a boa constrictor. Think of a snake, a big anaconda. That's even better than a boa constrictor, just a big anaconda. And it is squeezing that house. It wants to restrict. Okay? It wants to starve, restrict, and make that house humble. Humble is probably the better word. And the opposite of Saturn, like a 1-7 of Saturn, would be Jupiter. So we have the malefic and then we have the benefic. And look, even on my tablecloth, they have the 1-7, the complete opposite. It's perfect for this example. But when you think of Jupiter, think of let's see, what would be a good one? I guess think of Kirby. I don't know. I've been playing Pokemon with my kids a lot lately. Sorry. I don't know if you know who Kirby is. He's that little fat pink guy with the red shoes. And he flies and he can turn into his opponents by sucking and inhaling them in. He blows up. He sucks them in like a vacuum, like a Kirby vacuum. So he's like, he sucks in the energy and then blows it out and becomes that thing. So when you think of Jupiter, I know it's kind of weird, but think of Kirby if you know who Kirby is, because it expands. And if you can't remember Kirby because you have no fucking clue who Kirby is, and I'm sorry if you don't, Think of a balloon, okay? Let's just be simple. There's a lot of people that don't know who the fuck Kirby is. Think of a balloon. A hot air balloon, no. A balloon at a birthday party, yes. You buy those tiny little balloons and you blow it up and the balloon expands. So Saturn is restriction and constriction and strict. Think of a teacher with her ruler on the desk. What are you doing? That's Saturn. Strict. And then think of Jupiter as jolly. Think of Jupiter as Buddha, but not the traditional Buddha where he's skinny and in his orange robe just meditating, but the big fat Buddha. The one that has the Buddha belly. The one that has a big smile on his face. And he's just jolly. 10 of Cups, right? Jupiter is like that. Big and jolly. Think of Santa Claus maybe even. So Jupiter wants to give like Santa. He wants to expand. He wants to blow up and grow things. Wherever Saturn is in, or Jupiter is in a house, he wants to expand the good qualities of that house. But if you have them together in the same house, there's war. Because one wants to do something and one wants to do the other, and they don't really allow the other to do it. So it's minimal. It's minimal influence. I don't want to say it cancels things out, but it just makes it struggles. It just makes it a push and pull struggle, a back and forth struggle. So sorry, I kind of went there. We'll talk more about that in the astrology class in order and a lot less combobulated in this reading. But hopefully that can help you guys understand. So this reading today here for Are You a Monglik or Are You Not Chemistry? For all of you watching, you have something hidden inside of you that needs to come out. For some of you, it's a wild side, and you're restricting your wild side. And for some of you, it's pain, anger. But this Four of Cups is in reverse. It means not all is lost, and it means you have to let go of what was, but it also means emotional discomfort. Because Four of Cups in the upright means you're taking some space to heal, to recover, to just be on your own. You don't want any extra emotional involvement right now. You're busy, you're happy where you're at, and you're kind of denying any other emotional energy into your aura or into your life. So when it's in reverse, you would like to have love in your life, but there's loss. And underneath this bottled up emotions comes the Three of Swords. More Gemini energy. We have Gemini, Gemini, Cancer, Cancer, Pisces, Leo. Just putting that out there. Gemini, Pisces, Cancer, and Leo. 4 of them. So this Three of Swords is about a broken heart. And a lot of you watching have definitely experienced the broken heart. And so there's a lot of pain. There's just a lot of pain and heartbrokenness from love, okay? And so if you're watching this reading today, not only are you getting good information on being a Mongol dosha person, which is a Monglik, but you're also getting information on being non-Monglik. So, and the reason I was inspired to do this video today is, guess what, everybody? Some of you are a non-Monglik, and you are chasing after a Monglik person. Who here in the chat is that? Is that you? And just be honest. Let other people know, if you know your person's chart, that you are a non-Monglik and you are obviously attracted to a Monglik. Because I'm going to do a reading and have some advice for you. And what if you're a Monglik chasing a non-Monglik? Same situation. I have advice for you. And that's really the inspiration for this video. And in the next reading, I will also do one for the Monglik with the Monglik. Okay? So we do need to talk about that. Is there any of you here that is a non-Monglik pursuing a Monglik? No one wants to say? We're both the same. Double checked. Okay, Ollie. All right. No, you guys shy? It's okay. I don't have to call you out. Don't worry about it. I'm sorry. It's your secret. It's between you and God. But I will go ahead and just do the 2 readings, okay, to give you some clarity. I'll go ahead and finish this one up, and then we'll get into that one. I don't know their chart, but yes, I think I am. Okay. Sadasman, you have no idea. Hun, yeah, check your chart. Go to the Vault of the Heavens, Lahiri Ayanamsha. Look at your birth chart. See if Mars is in that 12th, 1st, 4th, 7th, or 8th house. Maybe even the 2nd, okay? Check. And then you'll have an idea, Asadasman, if you are a Monglik. And maybe if you don't know your partner, that's tough. That's a tough call. That's tough to say. Maybe somehow you can guess by their birthday, at least their birthday, and maybe guess their timing if you know the location of their birth, and try to figure out as much as you can if your person is or isn't, and trust your instincts. Sometimes your intuition will guide you to the answer, okay? When you're looking for the chart. Sometimes your intuition will say 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 5 p.m., 4 p.m., this location, you know. Sometimes your heart will guide you there. So listen to that while trying to come up with your person's chart. A educated guess is much better than not knowing at all. So go ahead and give it a shot. Try an educated guess if you don't know. All right. So anyways, in continuation of this reading, for the general collective coming in, you guys have been holding back your emotions about a great love of your life. There's a lot of pain behind your relationship. At the same time, it's full of passion. And you're looking back at this and really hoping that something can move forward, that the universe will somehow push you forward into this connection because you feel it's a very deep connection. These are both deep soulmate, bonded for life energies with the Lover's card and the Moon. But that 4 of Cups does tell us that for the collective watching, there has been denial of love and there has been rejection. So whether that was you rejecting and denying or them rejecting and denying, that is the underlying brokenheartedness in this reading, particularly for the collective. And so a lot of you have some deep wounds from this rejection or denial. Some of these can stem from a mother, because we have the Moon card and the Chariot and the 4 of Cups, which is all Cancerian vibes. But for some of you guys, it's just a cold-hearted energy from this person, and you can't understand that. How could you have all this passion and then be so cold? And this is again where we have to start talking about the Monglik. Okay? Monglik does not mean true love. Monglik does not mean soulmate or twin flame. So put that in your notes. Monglik does not mean divine. Monglik is an energy of domination and conquer. If you mix that mixture with love and divine, it can be beautiful. But sometimes, like I've said, you can have a mixture with abuse, narcissism, and cold-heartedness, and being used and abused. So there has to be the right mixture for this to be a good relationship. And if there's not, it cannot be. And you have to be willing to understand that. And I think the purpose for this video and where Spirit wanted to take me here, by the way, 44 minutes when I looked up, was to let you guys know passion and intense sexual energy and seeing God through this person's arms does not mean divine love. Especially if you're a Monglik or they're a Monglik. And that is why I'm here, because a lot of the collective has become confused based on that Queen of Wands feeling that this is the most intimate, intense chemistry and passion I've ever experienced. That does not equal divine. So I'll be right back. Let me, oh no, it's right here. Yay, I actually brought my charger with me. Okay. You're like, Stephanie, why don't you just remember your charger every day? Guys, because I still have COVID brain. That's why. And I am just nuts trying to get my life back in order from being sick. Guys, I'm still doing laundry and cleaning from being sick. Like, I'm done, man. I am so done. I'm just like, ah. And just as I'm trying to get my life in order, people are putting up Halloween decorations. I'm like, what? I'm not even done with summer because I missed, you know, a month of summer. I'm like, I'm not ready for all that. Don't do that. Oh, Lord. Okay. There. You're such an energetic lady. Thank you, Assad Isman. I love you guys. You're the shit. So let's get an oracle. Okay, let's get an oracle up in this piece for you guys. Good Lord, give us some advice for this brokenheartedness. Okay, this particular reading, give me some advice. Ooh, woman holding a coin. And bottom of the deck is deceit in reverse, which is actually really good for this oracle set. It means you're going to be finding out some secrets. So, you know, woman holding a coin, yeah, it represents money, always does. Kind of weird to see that in this love reading, but let's just see what happens. Let's see what's going on. Then we'll get into the Monglik and non-Monglik read. So let's look at number 42, woman holding a coin in reverse. So this could be a woman holding back. How many of you, ladies and gentlemen, have a woman holding back from you? You have a woman restricting you because she's holding back. This might be your message, okay? And for the women out there looking, you know, towards a man, the reading for you is probably you're holding back from a man right now. You're the one holding back, ladies, because you feel something is wrong and off. You're brokenhearted, and maybe you've been rejected and you're afraid to come back into the situation. Because what if they reject you again, and you do not want to face double rejection? And that could be a lot of women out there today on this reading, just keeping guard, pulling away from their man. So however this works for you, ladies and gentlemen. And it could be a man holding back from a woman as well. Like, you know, I didn't put that in there, but this is definitely possible. You could be a man holding back from a woman because she has broken your heart or rejected you in some way. All right, so let's read this. Female connection in money, health, or value of some sort. And for us, since we're intuitive, value is the greatest love you've ever had. That's the value. The value is being a soulmate or a twin. That's a high value for someone. Or just a very intense, passionate connection that you've ever had in your life. It's the most. So that could also be the value. This elegantly dressed woman on the card sits on a beautiful chair, and she's holding a bright golden coin. And when this card comes up right in a woman's reading, it may refer to her directly and to a successful endeavor regarding her own finances, health, or something in value of hers. This card could also signal a woman of support or assistance regarding these issues. She may give you financial advice or connect you with someone who does. This woman may be someone you meet where you make your money, or it may be a woman of wealth and value. Either way, this card is telling you to be on the lookout for helpful assistance, or even possibly of a new love or friendship connected to a woman of wealth, value, or business. I have an intuitive hit, and it has nothing to do with this card. But there is, for a lot of women, another woman involved holding back your person. And you are brokenhearted because you feel it. There's definitely somebody else. And you feel they are the block and the one keeping you from your love. So for a lot of you, that's an intuitive hit I've had. I also want to reverse that for my fellas, because there's a lot of guys out there to where you love a woman and she is being held back by another man or woman, or however, however that works. But you know what I mean? By another partner, okay? And so it goes both ways. But that's my intuitive hit, is that there is a third-party situation. For many of you, probably 8, be it an intrusive mother or stepmom or sister. But for some of you, there's someone that really influences heavily on this connection and halts your guys' connection. But what does that say about your person? What does it say about the person you love, guys, ladies and gentlemen? It says that your person is too freaking weak to see past their manipulative bullshit and to get the hell out of a toxic relationship. And then you're going to say, well, Stephanie, why would you say their relationship is toxic? Wouldn't you think ours is toxic since we're the third party? No. Nothing happens by the third party. No. Nothing happens by accident. Your birth chart, your soul contract, speaking from this card, your soul contract is entwined into this person's soul contract as well. You are not the problem. Your paths crossed because they were supposed to. There's an awakening and a lesson involved. The reason I said why I think the other relationship is toxic is simply because there's a restriction. And we talked about the anaconda earlier in the room, didn't we? Saturn. Restricting. Now, we also know, and I know I'm going further in astrology, and some of you get it and some of you don't, but we did just recently have a video on Saturn and karma. Check my playlist and previous videos. I have a couple of them. But when restriction and holding back is involved, Saturn is involved. He is. He's involved. And Saturn does represent karma, because he's the delivery system. And no one likes to get delivered bad karma, but they like to be delivered good karma. I also want you to think of Saturn as Amazon. He doesn't know who the fuck you are. He doesn't care what the fuck you ordered. But he's coming to your door to give it to you. Amazon, it's your package, it's your karma, it's your delivery. Okay? And whether it's a package you want to receive or not, it doesn't really matter to him. He's like, you can hate me or you can love me. In astrology, you can think I'm a malefic because I deliver bad things, which is what you would consider bad things. Delay of children, delay of marriage, separation, karmic relationships, illness, frustration, restriction of money. You may hate me because I do all these things to people. So I'm evil, I'm malefic. But you love me when I deliver a long-lasting marriage, You love me when I deliver responsible, successful children. You love me when I deliver a very successful, long-lasting business that carries on for generations. You love me when I deliver you a long life. You love me when I lastly deliver survival after a car accident or an illness. You love me then. So with Saturn, it's a love-hate. And we all really have to get over it with Saturn, because he's really just Amazon, and he's like, this is your karma speaking. This is your delivery. I show up to give it to you. You don't like the, what do you say, the messenger. But really, you shouldn't like the message, not the messenger. Saturn's just the delivery and the messenger. Don't hate him for it. He represents something that you don't like, but you know. So what I'm saying here in this description, why I think the other relationship that is restrictive is toxic, is because it feels that way, doesn't it? The restriction feels toxic. It feels like you're holding back from something that came in that should be for you. It's very hard to understand those things. I'm going to give you a true life example, and I'll be short. I'll be brief. I wanted to restrict and hang on to the father of my children when I was young. I was protective, and I was madly in love, and we had an extreme Monglik sexual passionate relationship. We also had a soulmate connection. It was very deep. It was very loving. But as I grew older and my Saturn matured and his Saturn matured, we were not a good pair. We didn't have the same belief system spiritually, even though when we first met we did. We were both strongly believers of Catholicism and strong believers of different kinds of judgments in life. We were in line. We were in tune at that time. But as we grew older and Saturn matured in our charts, it was not a good match. But it didn't matter. I still wanted to hang on to him. And even though Saturn was delivering, hello delivery, he was delivering a divorce, I didn't want to let it go. Because I loved him. I loved him so much. He was everything. Everything. And I had a vision of a family and a life I will not let go of. And I fought and I fought and I fought. And even in aloneness, even in separation, even in painful truths being revealed to me that this was toxic. We were not good for each other. There was abuse. There was infidelity. There was irresponsibility. You name it. Even though there was all the flags and the signs, and Saturn's like, by the way, he separated us by 2,000 miles. Not only are we separated by jail and miles and years and distance and every bad thing in the book, my love still wanted to hang on to it. I was obsessed. Or should we say committed? You can look at it in two different ways. Obsessed or committed. Whatever, you take your pick. I guess it's the way you look at it. My heart was in the right place. But I did not want to accept what Saturn said to me. I did not want to accept the message or the delivery of Saturn. So I fought. And the delay of the separation was insane. I think our separation lasted, I don't know, what was it? I don't know, 5 years? Like from the moment we needed to separate to release, it took a long ass fucking, it took years, guys. This is toxic, and I'm hoping you can take my example and say, this is why I say that this relationship may not have started out toxic, but it turned out that way. It becomes that. Because whenever Saturn evolves and whenever people spend a certain amount of time with each other, their karma plays out. And sooner or later, if they're meant to be together, there'll be signs and synchronicities that let's reinvigorate our love. We're true love soulmates. We're meant to be. And you're going to celebrate those moments. My grandparents had that true love soulmate connection. 1/7 aspect all the way for my grandparents. And they had 60 years together. And there was zero cheating. And there was zero abuse. There was financial hardships in their marriage, but there was no cheating or abuse. They were a loving couple, and they were in love until the day he died, and she's still in love with him. And she'll see him again. And they were romantic. Even in their older years, they were romantic. And by the way, they were non-Monglik, both of them. Non-Monglik. So they had a very good marriage, and that's why it is said that Monglik people, 50-50 chance, will suffer divorce because Mars is malefic. So there is that risk. And were me and my kid's father madly in love? Fuck yeah. I still love that fucker, and I'm still attracted to him, and he's dead. But I look back at his pictures and I think of our love, and it's just a turn on always. He's my passionate love of my life. But we did not last, and we were supposed to have that divorce, that separation. And even though, you know, I don't know what your situation is, guys, but there is a relationship like mine that was karmic that has its restriction. And there's a karmic connection here involved. 3 of Swords does talk about a third-party relationship. And we have the Lover's card there, so there is a disruption in love. There is another person. And the toxicity of that relationship that's kind of restrictive here is basically there's an asshole out there somewhere like me, where I didn't want to let go of this person. And it was selfish a little bit, and my person didn't really want to let go of me, but he made it a little easier because he was the one cheating, not me. But he had met another woman, several other women, but one in particular that I think was better suited for him in the end. And as jealous as that would make me, and as mad as that would make me, and I'm full of jealousy. I've suffered with jealousy my whole life, but I've conquered a lot of that. But full of jealousy. I have to be honest with myself and say he is better suited, he was better suited for that woman. They had a lot of the same interests. They wanted to be in the same state, the same city. They agreed on how children should be raised, where we differed. They agreed on religion, where we differed. They agreed on entertainment, where we differed. They agreed on so many things about life, about work, about money, about where they want to live. And as much as he didn't want to let me go, I didn't want to let him go, yet we didn't fit. All I was going to do in that relationship was try to change him, try to mold him to be who I wanted him to be, which is someone he was not. And as much as I loved him for what we were, I didn't love him for who he was at that time. You spend over a decade with someone, and that's what happens. You grow into different people. And we grew apart a lot. And you think 2,000 miles would seal the deal, but it didn't. Still phone sex, still calls, still love letters, still visits, still hanging on to a connection. I had to grow up and learn to let go. And I did. It was way before he died, but I did. I had to. And even then I was still jealous and I didn't want to feel like I wanted him with that other woman. But now, as I'm a mature woman, and now that I look back and see that connection, I'm like, she was actually the right person for him. She really was. She was the right person for him. She had the right temperament and everything. She could handle all of that. Why wasn't I grown up enough to see it then? Why couldn't we have just gotten along then? It never would have worked. We were two Mongliks, and even though we were separated, even if he moved on with another woman, I'll be honest with you guys, we probably still would have been intimate. We still wouldn't have been able to keep our hands off of each other if we saw each other at our kids' reunions or birthdays or graduations or family events. We would have had that attraction. And that it is what it is. It's ugly truth, but it is what it is. When you have those two Mongliks together, it is a sexual, physical, passionate connection. There is no breaking it. So even though our worlds grew apart, that connection would always be there, which is what made us what they would call malefic, which is what made us what people would call bad. Well, how come you couldn't respect this person in the new relationship? Well, how come he can't respect his new relationship and not be with me? Oh, what do you say to that? You're malefic. You're goddamn right we're malefic. Fucking yes, we are. And that's the problem. You guys want to see the beauty in Monglik energy, but you don't want to see the ugly in it. You don't want to see the truth in it. There's the ugly truth. There's just part of the truth. I'm being honest. And I'll tell you what, if fate has been put together to keep you together for the long haul, you're lucky. If fate has been orchestrated to tear you apart, it's very misfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's a very confusing and very difficult placement. It's going to try your patience and it's going to hit you. But I'm being real and I'm just being honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat all of this shit for you guys. I don't want to do that because real life is real and it's not everyone's going to like that story that I just told you, and not everyone's going to appreciate that confession I just told you. But that is just the ugly truth about it all. And this is why people struggle in Monglik relationships. And this is why non-Monglik people honestly cannot be with a Monglik person. They would lose their shit. Can you imagine a chaste or proper or holy or spiritually minded or sacred minded or, just restrictive personality? Could you imagine them with a Monglik? Wild and free and roaming around like a tomcat? Honey, that is a humongous recipe for disaster. And I don't care how good the sex was and how mind-boggling, soul-shattering, otherworldly, awakening, how kundalini rising, orgasmic, amazing your connection is. If you are a non-Monglik with a Monglik, you're in a fucking disaster. Your relationship is a disaster. And I will put my money on it that it will never work. And you should just stop fighting right now. Do this. Throw in the cards. Quit fighting. Don't do it anymore. Stop. It won't work unless you want to waste your life. You want to waste your youth, your life, your breath. Continue by all means. Throw it away. But if you want to be smart, listen to and heed my words. Stop chasing the Monglik. if you are a non-Monglik person. And Mongliks, stop chasing your non-Monglik person, because in the end, you will disappoint and hurt each other. Because even Monglik to Monglik will hurt each other. It takes a very specific equation for a Monglik and Monglik to be happily ever after. A very specific equation. Basically a very specific chart placement for each. And even if you make your relationship work with a Monglik and a Monglik, there will probably be heartbreak. Because let's talk about the reality of the shadows of this. Cheating or a wandering eye, at the very minimum, will be a thing. Flirting, which kind of is the same. Let's just put those together. Flirting, wandering eye, or cheating will be a thing. Even if you're a Monglik and a Monglik, it will be a thing. It will. You or your person or both, most likely both, will check out other people, flirt at the store, at a place, at a restaurant, at work. You'll like to be complimented. Monglik people like to be complimented. Ooh, you look good in that. Even if it's non-sexual. Like a girlfriend to a girlfriend, just friends. Damn, girl, your ass looks good in that. You know, and the girl's like, yeah, girl, And you know you're turning heads. But you do it anyways. Even though you have a man at home. Because you're a Monglik. You want that attention. You're flirtatious. You look at all these Instagram models and all these TikTokers and all that shit. Same shit. There's a lot of Mongliks out there. And even though they're committed, they're showing off their freaking ass, their tits, their ass, and their muscles, their abs, their thighs. You know, you see the cop guys in TikTok, the firemen and the cops, and they have that music, and they're like, they go up to the camera and rip off their shirt, or they just show up in jeans and a t-shirt, and then they'll switch and get into their uniform, and all the ladies go wild, and they want all the hearts, heart, 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 you know, as Monglik. And even though they might have a woman in the background, or a woman with them recording, or a woman at home, honey, they're Monglik. They're out there flirting. I'm not saying they're going to get into another relationship, another commitment, although that's a possibility. But I'm saying if you're a Monglik and a Monglik, there's going to be that outrageous flirting. Unless, you know, there's some Mongliks in the 8th and the 12th where it's obviously a lot more secretive. And it's undercover, and they flirt on Tinder, or they flirt on Facebook, or they'll flirt behind your back at work and you don't know shit. Some Mongliks do that. But the other ones are out in the freaking open. 1st house, 7th house, 4th house, out in the open. Here I am, Monglik. You know, so I'm just giving you guys the real deal about this, that this is not a fairy tale. And this card is very telling with the 3 of Swords. Kelly Ellie, my ex, was probably a Monglik. He loves looking. That's why I'm confused why he is still obsessed with me. I need real love. Okay, Kelly Ellie. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Look at your charts. Kelly Ellie, where is your Jupiter? Hi, Maria. Hi, Markers. Kelly Ellie, where's your Jupiter, my hun? Oh, bye, Sun Val L. I love you. Love you, girl. I'm going to bed, not feeling good today. Oh, my gosh, son. Please tell me you're not getting sick. I hope to God not. Okay, Jupiter's in Virgo. But what house? Sorry, what house? I hope you feel better, son. I send you love and light. love and light and good thoughts. Pray to God you're going to be all right. In the first house? Okay. Oh boy. So let me tell you a little advice, Kelly Ellie. The first house represents your mind and your body. So I want you to understand that and write that down in your notes, Kelly Ellie. Your mind and your body. The first house represents your purpose for being here. When Jupiter is there, you believe very, very much that your body is sacred, like a temple. You believe that your mind is sacred, like a temple, and that your thoughts should be respected. Your opinion and your voice, your body and your person should be respected. Respect is a very important thing for you. Honor is a very important thing for you. And commitment. Marriage is a very important thing for you. Also, because Jupiter is in the first house, you have a very devout, spiritual mind. You could have been a nun, you could have been a preacher, you could have been a spiritual advisor. Okay, you just have a very spiritually minded spirit. And you would make an excellent teacher, Kelly Ellie. A really wonderful teacher about higher education, a professor or a spiritual advisor, a leader, a teacher. So when it comes to a spouse, when it comes to a husband and father of your children, Kelly, you will not be happy with any man that is not all of those things. You will not be happy with a man that has a wandering eye. You will not be happy with a man that does not have a spiritual belief system and doesn't believe in something spiritual or a higher power. You will not be happy with a man that does not honor your body and your mind. You will not be happy with a man that does not honor his body or his mind. Okay? You are a serious-minded person. And I don't know how old you are. It makes a difference. When you're younger, under the age of 24, you're driven by Mars. When you're in your 30s, you're definitely driven by that Jupiter energy. And then late 30s, you're really driven by that Saturn. But as you mature, you will want a man that is a spiritually minded man. Period. And so by the sounds of who you've described, you're going to have absolute problems. And I don't see that going anywhere. If he has a wandering eye and he's flirtatious, how could this work? He doesn't fit the criteria for what you would think a husband or father of children should be like. And this is why in a woman's chart, Jupiter, who is the spiritual teacher, who is the spiritually minded, mature leader, kind, and someone that has good morals, all women look for that in a husband. But some women, if there's Mars and Jupiter, some women might look for that attractive bad boy type that has a soft side. And those women can, have an issue. Some women who even have like a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which is really difficult, like I said, can be gold diggers. Or Venus and Jupiter with Saturn, major gold diggers. Well, anyways, I'm going to quit there. But Kelly Ellie, I don't recommend this situation going further, to be honest. I'm going to read you. I've checked out years ago secretly, but stayed because I had a baby. Shaking my head, but I'm learning. Okay, I can see. And that's because you have that spiritual mind. And you your brain, the way it works is by Jupiter in the first house. So you think morally, ethically, religiously, spiritually, and you want to honor those traditional values of home and family, which is exactly where I was at, girl. I wanted that shit with mine. And I stuck to it. I was a stubborn motherfucker. Really, I was. And even though he could not be those things, that's what I wanted. I don't have Ketu in my first house. I mean, I don't have Jupiter in my first house, but I have Ketu. And I'm a Sagittarius rising, so Jupiter rules that Saggy energy, and Ketu co-rules Sagittarius with Jupiter. So I do have that Jupiterian mind. And I can tell you definitely that's how I see relationships. I want that morality. Confession hour, though, confession moment. The older I've gotten, I do want a spiritual person, but I've noticed after all my relationships, I've kind of grown into this I don't want a relationship phase. And I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I grew up Queen of Wands from the age of 12, just wanting boyfriends and having relationships, always having relationships and being very sexually active, not from the age of 12, but, you know, from the age of 18, a very sexually active person. I'll admit, even 16 with my first love, very sexually active person. And always loving marriage. And now that I'm older, I'll be honest, that's a confession. I don't care about it. I don't seek it. I don't even desire it. I don't desire marriage. It's like it left me. I don't know what happened, and I have young children. And you would think I want that husband and father in the home, and I used to. Maybe it's just because I've been on my own so much, being single, that I have not needed a man. And I've had to do everything on my own. And it would be nice, I guess, I think sometimes to have that partner. But I'm so acclimated to being independent that I can't even picture myself with a man anymore, or woman. I don't go that way, guys. Not that I hate on it, but I don't go that way. So don't get any ideas. I just don't want a relationship. And I don't know. That's what happens. And I have to see my Saturn placements. But Kelly Ellie, because Jupiter's there in your first, you may get to that point where you're like that. You may very well. And I don't know what's going to happen for you, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's really not. I can just tell you, Kelly Ellie, and everyone else who's got these experiences, Sherry L., I have done the same thing too. Yeah, and I'm interested in what happens in my recent lover's life. I'm still interested in what goes on there, and I still have interest, but the desire is not aimed towards it. So I don't know. I hope for those of you that resonate with Kelly Ellie's situation, or mine, or anybody else's that I've mentioned in today's reading, it's not the worst thing in the world to be separated, but you have to learn to let go. If you find yourself in a toxic situation where you don't want to let go of someone because of children or because of a belief system, or you're hanging on for sexual reasons possibly, just don't. That isn't my recommendation. Do check your charts. The freight train of feelings isn't a ride for everyone. Yeah. And even though it has been for me, it's not. And I'm going to, everyone has a purpose. Everyone has intelligence. And another astrological little fun fact, people's intelligence and the way they understand things, it depends on the planet that rules the house that these conjunctions are in. That does make a difference. But besides that, a basic piece of information I can share with you is Mars and Mercury. If you have a Mars and Mercury conjunction, there is great intelligence. If you have Rahu, Mars, and Mercury, even more intelligence. Odd, obsessive intelligence, but intelligence. If you have Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Rahu in a conjunction. That's wonderful intelligence. If you have Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, Mars, and Rahu, that's extreme intelligence, but that's pretty combust. That's a full house. You might get someone really wacky like Nikola Tesla or Albert Einstein. But on a basic level, basic, not all these conjunctions and aspects and house placements and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to confuse you with that shit. But on a basic level, if you look at your chart and you see Mercury and Mars together in your birth chart, look at the house that it sits in, because you'll probably know the houses and what they represent. If you don't know what the houses represent, please go to my astrology class. You're going to learn how to read your birth chart, and you're going to be able to make more sense of your life. If you're interested in that, it's $99. Go to jks1111.com. I'll answer some questions for you included for free if you order that before the 10th. Anyways, if you guys have Mercury and Mars, you're going to have great intelligence towards that house. I have a very big conjunction. I don't want to tell you guys all my business. I'm not going to tell you all my conjunctions, but I do have a Mercury and Mars combined with several other planets in a conjunction in the 7th house. So when I give you advice on relationships, honey, my crazy intelligence is in relationships. It's in other people, and it definitely has to do with communication and understanding. And to make your intelligence even better, if Mercury is in its own sign, whatever house he's in, doesn't fucking matter. If Mercury or Mars is in their own sign, it's even better. Way better, because it brings out the beauty of that sign. Where if Mercury and Mars are in an opposite signs, it won't bring out as much intelligence or as much beauty of that sign. So that's a trick. That is a trick. Say you have Mercury and Mars in Leo. It's not going to bring out the best traits of Leo and the most understanding of whatever that house, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. It won't bring out the most nectar. But if you had Mercury and Mars in Gemini, or in Virgo, or in Scorpio, or in Aries, your intelligence will be great. Extremely great in those areas. If you had Mercury and Mars in Aries, you would have extreme intelligence on weaponry. How to create weapons, how to make bombs, nukes. Maybe it's not weapons, maybe it's the body. You would have extreme intelligence on bodybuilding, health, nutrition, how the body works, biology. You would have extreme intelligence there. What if it was in Virgo? Doctor, surgeon intelligence. That would be an extreme surgeon. Someone that could be a brain surgeon, neuroscientist even. If Mercury and Mars were in Virgo, bringing out the most they can get from that sign. Or a lawyer, an extremely intelligent, swift-minded lawyer, even an architect, a judge, a police officer, a general in the military, a lieutenant, a chief of police. You know, Mercury and Mars can bring an insane intelligence towards whatever sign it's in. Even Virgo is health. So medicine, you're looking at those people that make vaccines. If you had Mercury and Mars with Virgo, fuck yeah, that person's making medicine. And what about Gemini? You know, that person would be highly intelligent when it comes to communication, friendships, business ownership and business entrepreneurship, sales, communications. What about those people that advise the president, people that advise campaigns, people that do media, multimedia, advertisements, representations, book writing, authors, movie makers, okay? Mercury and Mars and Gemini will do that. But then look at the house placement. The house placement is important. Like I told you my example, my house placement for my Mercury and Mars in Gemini is in the 7th house. So my intelligence goes towards people and relationships. I have a very deep understanding, and I think, I don't want to brag, but because my sun is there in Rahu, I tend to brag a little, and I'm sorry, it's who I am. But I tend to be very, very good at what I do. Better than most. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm saying I am better than most. And I have no shame in saying it, because I know where my strengths lie. And it's okay to own your strength. I have fucking failures in other houses, so nothing's wrong with talking about my strengths. This is why I do what I do in my business. I'm very good at this. And I know how to advise people on relationships. Now, what if I had this conjunction in the 1st house? Then I would probably have a great intelligence on being a leader, being in the military, maybe even being a president or some kind of, I don't know, a very in charge person. You know, someone who's very in charge, very controlling, and knowing how to rule a country, knowing how to rule a very large corporation. You know, so that would be extreme intelligence in the 1st house. And I would be very wise about who I am as a person and what my purpose is. And I would probably convey extreme intelligence in the brain. So I would probably be very well educated and very intelligent and speak very eloquently if I had this conjunction in the 1st house. But I don't. I don't. You know, so look at your conjunctions. What if Mercury and Mars are conjunct in the 10th? What would that be? Extremely driven, but if it's in this, if it's in Mars, I already said Mars and Mercury. But if it's in Scorpio, Aries, or Virgo, or Gemini in the 10th house, again, business ownership is seen there. Or owning a corporation, can't talk today, what the fuck. You know, writing books like Harry Potter, the Twilight Saga. If you had that conjunction there, you could be rich and famous. Hey. So yeah, you want to look at your conjunctions and say, well, where does my opportunities, what can I do with my life? So look at those things before you make your judgments. But when you guys are looking into these connections, check your chart, check your person's chart, get that information, and an educated guess on your person's chart is better than not knowing anything at all. Because at least if you know their birthday, you get some idea of their planetary placements. And that's going to help you figure out, can this freaking work or not? Am I shooting for the stars and is it possible? Or am I just shooting a shot in the dark and this probably won't work and I shouldn't waste my time? My advice is a couple things, which is weird and contradictive. But my advice is this: follow your heart. Everybody has their own soul path. And who am I to tell you what the fuck to do? If you want to shoot for a shot in the dark, you take your little Mars-driven heart and you go for it. See what happens. Who am I to tell you not to? That's your journey and that's your lesson. I want you to do it. You know? And if part of your journey is to walk away, then that's what you feel. And who am I to tell you to stay? I want you to follow your path. And my only purpose in existence on this channel for you today is to give you knowledge and information about these signs and doshas and what's going on, so you can make the best decision for yourself based on getting educated on your chart and your soul path, and just figuring it out on your own, making the best decisions you can make based on the information you have. That's my purpose. Maybe you guys already know everything I've said today, and maybe you guys only knew part of it. Maybe some of you guys knew nothing, and this is a very big enlightenment. I just hope I'm a blessing for you in some way. I just want to teach what I know, and I just want to help people. That's why I'm here. My whole purpose is that 7th house with other people, and I just want to be there. I just want to be there with you guys, and I just want to help you guys and love you guys and show you guys what I've seen and learned, and hopefully you can understand it like I can. So anyways, this is this reading overall for you guys. We're here at 95 minutes. I'm going to try to wrap this up in the end. We're going to look at a Monglik and a non-Monglik and just see what your reading is. But before we jump into that, just let's read Deceit. What is this? Number 25. And it is reversed, okay? Another reversal. Receiving this card reversed puts you on notice that the deceit of the past is over or is being dissolved. Or maybe a more open communication is developing in your personal life. Be assured that the negative and dishonest energy is on its way out. And take advantage of a new peaceful and open environment, one where you will be able to forge more success and great comfort. On a deeper level, this card reversed is telling you that the period of self-deceit is over. You are now ready to open up your eyes and see it for what it really is. No more wool over your eyes. You're pulling the curtain back, and you know who's behind it. The abiding truth of your own value, power, and deservingness is here. You deserve to know, and it may take continued effort to accept, but your honesty with yourself regarding these truths will bring even greater value back into your life. And I agree. The day I had to end my difficult relationship was the hardest day of my life. I cried my ass off. I cried for months straight, every night. It was a complete brokenness. Letting it out was the best thing I could do for myself. Saturn was my best friend and my enemy. He forced me. He delivered the separation and divorce. He forced me to accept it. And I was kicking and screaming and refusing to accept it. But when I accepted it, I grew up, I got wise, and I found myself. And I love me today. I have so much more financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually than I ever have in my whole life. And that was his gift. His gift was, do you want to be young and dumb and naive and have great sex and love and passion? Or do you want to grow up and be wise, be a teacher, achieve great things, provide a great life for your family? Or do you want to live in difficulty? Saturn just wanted to help me out. I didn't want it. I'm glad he stuck around. I'm glad I was able to learn, and I'm glad I was able to find the strength to just let it go. Now, on the other hand, which you guys are going to be like, uh-oh, is this contradictive? I have another love. Hello, Monglik. Hello, Monglik. Mongliks will always find love again. I have another love that is difficult but beautiful in its own way. I actually value the separation, and I have a more fifth dimensional connection and a spiritual connection with this person. And I'm in the midst of growing more in that connection, but it is intimate, and it is sexual, and it is passionate. It is also isolating. It is also awakening. And I don't know where I'm at in that journey, but like I said, I feel right now it's just I like not having one. So this is my moment. This is my present. I'm not really worried about the future. I don't care what my results will be. I don't do cards on myself to see what my future will be in 6 months or a year or even 5 years with this person. I don't want to see if we're going to be together or not. I just like where we're at. Even though it's actually painful and difficult kind of right now, I like it. It's kind of weird, but I like it because it's showing me new things about my life. And I feel still in relationship with him, even though we're not. I feel him. I feel his soul and his heart. It is a twin flame, to be honest. And I told you, twin flame journeys are not easy. A lot of it ends up in separation, but they show you something. So I am still connected to this person while in separation. And I am thriving. I'm thriving here in this. I feel much better about my life. I'm going through something. I am currently a caterpillar going into a chrysalis. Maybe I've been in a chrysalis. Maybe I've been in a cocoon for a while. But when I come out, I'm going to be a butterfly. I don't know what I'm going to be. I don't know what I'm going to be. But I have a feeling there's something big for me. I don't know what it is. But have you ever felt that? There's something big for you. Guys, I feel something very big for me. It's out there somewhere and it will come. But I'm preparing myself for this flight. I don't know, I'm going to be even better than I am now at what I do and who I speak to. I mean, I've definitely thought about writing books, being on shows, doing different classes and series, traveling the world, speaking to lots of people about love and relationships and twin flame journeys and the experiences of it and psychic energy. I have so much more work to do. Am I ready for that right now? I don't think so. One, I don't speak the way I want to speak. I want to work on speaking more eloquently. I've been going through a 2-year battle with communication. I don't know what's up with that. I think it's Rahu for me. But I've been going through that. I want to work on that. I want to work on my speech. I need to work on my spelling, on my typing, on writing. And I want to work on my listening skills. Because having my combustions and my conjunctions in one house, listening skills for me, believe it or not, can be difficult. And one of the things I've heard of from feedback from my family is you're not listening. And I listen really quickly. And I know what they're going to say before they finish. So I need to stop interjecting. And even though people say, "Did you hear me?" I can repeat verbatim what they said. Because I'm a Gemini. My part of my brain is hearing and recording the information that I'm listening to. But another part of my brain is gathering information and preparing myself to speak. So I do both. And a lot of people can't do both. I have a very strong Gemini. It's more strong than most. I've got 5 planetary conjunction there in Gemini. In the 7th, communication is my forte. But people are not on board with me, and I want to be with people. I want to talk with people. I want people to know that I'm listening. I want people to know that my communication is on point. I'm working on that. And I'm owning that. I also want to work on responding to emails, getting a good system set up, having a better business with what I do here with JKS. I need to master these things before I can ever become that butterfly. So this is my chrysalis. This is my cocoon. Welcome to my journey. You're all part of it. You're all my friends. But I hope my story inspires you. Maybe you're in chrysalis too. Maybe something big is coming for you. I hope that you're enjoying this moment like I am and not looking towards the future or the past, just sitting here, embracing yourself. Anyways, I just want to share that with you. Okay, we all have work. You guys constantly beating you guys up, constantly riding your guys' ass, making you guys fix this and fix that and look at this and look at that. Honey, I do this all day to myself. This is all about growth and embetterment. If that's even a word, embetterment. Hey, I made it a word. If it's not. Anyways, we all got to do that. You see how I know my failures. And I know my struggles, man. I'm just glad for them. And like I said, we all have our own path. My path had to be some struggles. My mom always used to tell me, you're a strong-willed child and you want to learn the hard way. I don't want to listen to advice and do it. And a lot of you are like me. You don't want to listen to my advice. You have to go through it. And that's fine. And if that's your path, honey, more power to you. I'm that same way. But I have grown now in this age to listen. I have changed. And I still learn things the hard way. But now to save time, to save energy, to save breath and life, and to save myself more pain, because I feel I already experienced a lot of pain. Now to save myself a lot of that, I do consider other people's advice. I used to say, I know everything. I know that. I know that. I hate that about myself now. Well, I don't hate that. But I look back at myself and I say, God, why was I such an idiot that I always said I know? It bugs the fuck out of me. And now I see people that write comments. They're probably in their 20s, 30s. You know, they're still young. But they write comments like, oh, I saw your video from 2018. I already knew this in 2011. I already knew this 10 years ago. Or, honey, I'm a grandma. I already knew this 50 years ago. Like, whatever, you know? And I'm like, are you still in that I know stage? I hope you outgrow that, because I outgrew that. I outgrew that. I know. I know everything. Don't share your information with me. I already know. My kids are going through that stage. They get mad at me. They're like, Mom, I already know. Why are you telling me this? You're making me feel like I'm stupid and I don't know and I already know. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know that you know. You don't tell me what you know. I'm not reading your mind. I'm just sharing to you what I need to share with you because I'm your mom. If you already know, that's good. I was talking to them about carbs. And, you know, but that going to the gym doesn't mean you can just eat 4, you know, McDonald's meals. Because my son wanted to have a bunch of crap. And I was like, no, you can't have that. That's not good for you. And he was like, I'm going to get a gym membership and do this and that. I'm like, you can't get a gym membership and stay fit if you're eating crap. And he's like, I know that. Why are you telling me that? You're making me sound like I'm stupid. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Damn, I'm a mother. If you, my bad. My bad. Hold your horses. You know, but you know, he's 16. So I hope that us grown adults are not in that I know stage still. It's just annoying, right? People just share information with you. You can let it go in one ear and out the other. If you already know, great. You don't have to get mad. You know? Okay. So we're ending to this reading. We're going to go ahead and do a non-Monglik reading first. If you are a non-Monglik seeking a Monglik, or a Monglik seeking a non-Monglik, this is your reading. And like I said, you guys can, you know who you are. You know who you are. All right. Let's go, pony boy. Woo! You guys just blew up the desire. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, talking mushrooms. Oh, lordy, lordy. Just doing it. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. You got 5 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. In reverse. Dark Night of the Soul of Despair. I picked the word despair in my deck because what else can you do? You're desperate. Desperate for anything. Any attention, any ounce, anything at all. Just give me something. Throw me a bone. Just throw me a bone, Steph. And I know all of you guys are like, oh, I saw a twin flame card. I'm a twin flame. I'm a non-Monglik and he's a Monglik and we're twin flames. No, don't get your panties in a bunch. You're not going to like it, non-Mongliks, but I'm going to be honest with you because that's what we do here at JKS. Are you wanting to hear this? Don't dislike this video, please. Don't unsubscribe. Don't run off and say fucked up comments. Don't run off pissed off. I want you to hear this reading with an open heart. Take it as it is with love. This is complete honesty. You don't need to freak out. Okay? This right here is pursuing more stress and anguish and heartache and misery because you're praying to God that this is the twin flame. You've been watching twin flame readings, following twin flame stuff. You want to believe this is the twin flame. This is the best lover you've ever had in your life. You've never been kissed like you've been kissed before by this person. You've never been kissed and loved and made love to like you have from this person. This person may have, excuse my French, ate you out or gone down on you and just blew your fucking mind. This person says romantic things like, I love you, you're my heart, okay? All right? This person may be like, you're my heart, my only heart. Mi con todos, mi corazón, you're my everything. Con todos, mi corazón. They may tell you that they'll die for you. They can't live without you. You found yourself a real Casanova. You found yourself a real princess here. Okay? This person has swept you off your feet. This person has wrapped you up tight. This person is a little bit dominating. This person acts a little bit crazy about you. This person makes you feel like you're theirs. You're mine. I don't want you with anybody else. I would go crazy if I ever saw you with anybody else. And then, goosebumps, after they do all of this to you, non-Mongliks, Queen of Swords, cold as fucking ice. Ice. They ice you out. They don't answer the phone. They don't return your text. They may disappear. Where did they go for a month? What are they doing? Do they care? Do they check on you? How could you have a night of passion? Where did they go? Or how could we just say I love you this morning and at lunch they're not even texting me back and they show up late for dinner? What the fuck's going on with them? Your mind is blown. Your life is in shambles. Not like literally, like financially, although it could be. But this person has turned your life and your family upside down. Your family doesn't approve of this person. This person doesn't work hard to provide for you and bring home and take care and be responsible. This person is not interested in giving you a home. This person does not want to provide you with a roof over your head, food to eat, nourishment, spiritual love, sexual love, security. This person is contradictive. Because in one moment, this person tells you you're their everything. And that makes you feel safe, protected, loved, nourished, fed. And then after you've given your body, where are they? And where is those words? Where are those commitments? Where are those promises? You've also experienced many broken promises from this person. Promises you believed would be fulfilled because they meant it with all their heart. Because you watched readings, because you got spiritual advice. I'm going to tell you to be careful. I'm not going to scare everybody, but half of the people on YouTube are fake. Maybe even more than half. They are, unfortunately, there's a lot of fraud. And they say they're real psychics, real mediums, real intuitives. And they're not. Have a lot of good guesses and tell you the obvious. Why would a person come to a tarot reading? They're having a problem with love and money. They want to know their future. They just get the basics and they tell you the basics. What does everyone want to hear in a tarot reading? That's my soulmate. That's my twin flame. We're going to have a life together. They really love me. Those are the basics that every human can pick up on any other human based on statistical common knowledge about why people follow tarot. I have a feeling that my collective is not that naive. But I am telling you the truth. I've gotten some comments and some clients that tell me, I had a spiritual person tell me I'm going to be famous. I had a spiritual person tell me that I'm meant to be this and that. I had a spiritual reader tell me that this is my soulmate and twin flame and we've had a past life together. I had a spiritual person tell me blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really? And you felt like you could trust this person? Well, yeah, they were well known. Did you feel like they were honest with you? Or do you feel they just told you what you needed or wanted to hear? And a lot of them question that. And I don't normally discredit readers, but for real, be careful. Be careful. Because this can lead you into a shithole of misery, this Nine of Swords. Believing in something that's not for you. Now, when I tell people I think they're a twin flame or not, it either comes out in the cards and it is what it is, and I can say based on this reading, this is what it says, or I look at your birth charts, and I think the most accurate way is both. You have to get a reading, and you have to do the astrology. In my opinion, my professional opinion, you need both to be able to tell you that, for someone to tell you that. But also the other confirmation on your end needs to be a confirmation from spirit. You need to have absolute signs and feelings and revelations to yourself from your guides and from spirit just speaking to you the way he does to you, telling you that you are. And you have to have an absolute confirmation. If you don't have those confirmations and you've just been told by a few psychics, a little handful, it's like rolling the dice. You're kind of, here's hoping. Here's a shot in the dark. And you can really hang on because you believe that, not necessarily because you feel that. And that is a difference. And for the collective that is with me on this, feeling that you're a twin flame or being told that you're a twin flame are two different ballparks. Because a lot of people are told, but they don't feel it. They're just like, well, I don't know if I'm a twin flame or not. I had a psychic said I was a twin flame. So I just assumed that I am. That's not feeling it. Or I've met some people that say, I know I'm a twin flame, but I've gone to 2 or 3 readers and they can't confirm. They can't tell me, or they said that I'm not, but I know that I am. That is still accurate. Because like I said, you shouldn't trust just everyone that reads for you. And someone like that is much smarter than the opposite just mentioned. Someone that says, I feel it, even from readers. You probably just haven't that confirmation yet. You're still in the midst. But if you do confident, look at your astrology chart, your contract, and the one of your others, your lover. Sorry. Look at those things and do the research for yourself, because Spirit may be telling you not to trust who you've asked for the reading from. Spirit may just say, this is not the right reader for you. This is, if you still feel it and you're not trusting what they're saying, this is not the right reader. However, there's some people that are so determined to be a twin flame, they don't want to listen to even the good readers. Okay, the good, qualified, definitely authentic readers, they don't even want to listen to them. And that's a little bit different. Those people maybe are just trying to force the issue. So, I mean, you got to trust your instincts. But you can see where the controversy is with that. So when you get this twin flame card, trust your instincts. If you think you're a twin, follow your gut. Follow your instincts. Trust who you need to trust. Look at your soul contract, which is your birth chart, and double check. Look for yourself. And if you've done the research and you've looked at your life and you can still say, yes, I am, then you are. If you do the research and you go, this doesn't look very promising at all. I'm not getting it from other readers. I don't feel it in my soul, and it's not in my birth chart. I'm probably beating a dead horse. It really isn't what it is. More of a karmic situation. And there's a bit of confusion, you know? That's something to look into. And not all astrologers believe in twin flames. In fact, 99% of them don't. So if you need to find one that does. Because even my teachers don't believe in twin flames. That's just not in their faith system. But again, my teachers are scientists. They're more masculine driven. My teachers have all been technical and masculine, where they don't follow their intuitive feminine feelings, intuition, psychic abilities. They're not that into it. They're more into the technical science. The teachers that I followed are more into predictions. They want to prove predictions more than they want to talk about souls. And I find that very contraproductive. Wait, no. No, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. Counterproductive, that's the word. I find that very counterproductive because you have the astrologers that are major scientists, and then you have the astrologers that are major psychics and intuitives. It's hard, but there's not very many intuitive astrologers. I find it more often that I find a lot of traditional astrologers that go to astrology schools of the language of light, schools of Jamani, schools of all that Vedic, just schools of science. And they want to read your charts like a timeline, and they want to hit predictions, and they want to prove this planet, timing this planet, trining this over here and squaring this, and with Cryon over here and this going on over here, then this is going to fucking happen by this date. And they care more about the fucking dates than the soul. The soul is what we're doing astrology for. The soul. Doing astrology, and I am not the best, I do it because souls need guidance. I want to be the hermit with the lamp. I want to guide souls. And I don't want to guide them on technicalities. But that's just me. I'm not built to be a scientist like that. Even though in my business chart, I have Aquarius ascendant, which makes me a very good astrologer, but I just don't want to look at it in technical ways. I want to look at it in spiritual, emotional, soul ways, tender ways. I want to look at it differently. So anyways, I just see charts differently. Language of light. It's a language of the universe. Learning astrology is learning a language. And the way spirit speaks and the way the universe speaks is through astrology. So I'm going to say things that are very different than other astrologers. Other astrologers are going to watch me and go, she doesn't know shit. She doesn't know shit. She's talking from her ass. You know, she's completely not an astrologer. But that's their judgment because they're technical. Where my Saturn is very well placed. And those astrologers should eat shit. Because my Saturn says I put her here very attached with Aquarius. And Saturn services people. Saturn is in service and wants to help those who are not on a specific level. And so part of my karma is to bring that knowledge and bring it down to the people that are not in special schools, technical schools, or have technical minds. Part of my karma is to bring this knowledge down here to the people. And I like to, I'm not comparing myself to Jesus, but the example of breaking away from tradition is why I'm going to use it. Jesus spoke the word of God in a different way than the Pharisees, than the scribes, than the leaders and the teachers in their religion. He brought the word of that faith into preaching on rocks and going into public places and speaking it into different ways. He didn't quote the Bible. He was speaking from his heart what Spirit was saying through him. And he was taking the word from their churches and temples and sacred books. He was taking that from them and sharing it with normal people that weren't going into the temples, that weren't raised by these scribes and teachers and Pharisees. They didn't have special privilege to go there. Only people of special privilege could see that information. He took it and shared it with the world. And they didn't like him for that. They persecuted him for that. They told him he was evil and wrong for that. He was killed for that. And I feel in astrology a little bit that way, because when I share things with people, astrologers like, don't share that information. That's bad karma. Don't say that to people. They shouldn't know that about their life. Don't share this information. They should go to school and learn technically the skills for themselves. I find that very selfish. Astrology is a language of love and light. It's a language of my God, my creator. And I am meant to share that, not hoard it, not be some smartass in a room by myself. I want to share it. And I hope you guys learn things and you share it. But anyways, if you want to learn astrology from me, the basics of astrology, just how to read your chart, what the planets mean, the zodiac signs, your placements, and information about marriage and etc. for you, even compatibilities, please go to my website, jks1111.com. It starts on the 10th at 7 p.m. You can watch the video whenever you want, or you can watch it live. You'll also get a free question if you go ahead and order that. So anyways, I'm going to stop with the astrology on that. But also based on this non-Monglik chasing the Monglik energy here, or vice versa, the Monglik chasing the non-Monglik, There's a lot of belief here, and it's belief because the Hermit, which represents the 9th house, and Jupiter, which is higher wisdom, which is great teaching and understanding and the spiritual journey, is in reverse. Okay, so I know that this reversed means we are not upright. We are not learning the right lessons. We're not soul searching. We're not going down the right path. We're not really looking within. It's very reversed and distorted. So I do know this twin flame journey is very reversed and distorted. And I know that this 10 of Pentacles in reverse with the 8 of Wands, which is action, is pursuing a family home that's not going to turn out the way you want. It's going to be a loss of time, energy, effort, money, and it could definitely end in divorce or separation or just a broken family and a broken home. And I know that this 9 of Swords, misery, stress, jealousy, loss, hurt, sadness, madness. It's like being crazy, being mad, pain, jealousy, anger, rejection, sorrow, anxiety, questions about this journey. And these cards are available on my website too, jks1111.com. Anyways, this is a lot of stress. You can see the words are written on the wall. Yet she doesn't want to read the words written on the wall. She turns her head down. She's crying. Her swords are at her back and her mind. She's having sleepless nights. She feels awful. She's suffering. And it's just a miserable, existence here. And under that is the Queen of Pentacles upright, which is an earth sign energy, which definitely can talk to why someone here is very stubborn. Now, this is probably a Taurus. For some reason, I feel a lot of Taurus. Stubborn like a bull. Too stubborn to go their way. Too stubborn. Somebody stubborn, they won't turn. Could also, most all earth signs are stubborn. Virgo is fucking stubborn. So is Capricorn. But the most out of all of them is Taurus. You know? Yeah, stubborn ox. You try to move a donkey or an ox or a bull, it's not happening unless they want to move. So there's just this relentlessness there. I do feel Taurus. It's just too strong. Anyways, moving on over here. The love, the passion, and the intimacy in this relationship makes someone love someone unconditionally. Maybe it's because they have children with this person. I was in that position myself. I shared my story with you. Maybe it's because you want children with this person. Maybe it's because simply you just love them unconditionally and you don't care what the fuck's going on over here. Who gives a shit? You love them unconditionally, and it's because you are, like Thumper and Bambi, Twitter-pated. I hate to say it that way, guys, but it is what it is. You're Twitter-pated. Go watch Bambi, the Disney movie. You're Twitter-pated. You are in love. That's your path. That's your journey. You're going to figure this shit out. You're going to get to the point, Queen of Swords, where you realize, fuck this. This is not what I want. This is not the right person for me. I'm smarter than that. But the answer to the people that are Monglik and non-Monglik is it's going to end in divorce and separation with the Queen of Swords. And you're going to be burned. Not literally, but it's going to be a painful separation. And through this painful separation, you will become the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Air, the Queen of Thought, the Queen of Logic, the cold Queen of the North. You will have felt the truth. And like a steel blade piercing through your heart, it will be painful because the truth hurts sometimes. But you will be wiser nonetheless. And eventually, you will see the truth. And you will come out of this illusion. But I can tell you as a reader, this will end in loss, separation, and divorce. I'm sorry, and I don't like delivering these messages, but it is what it is. Broken family, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. There is no long term. Okay, this is the tarot. There is no long term. You are not on the right path thinking that this is a divine journey, because it's not. However, it is an enlightening journey. It is a life lesson, but it is most likely a karmic one. Okay? But either way, it will lead you to the truth, but it's not going to be a spiritual relationship. It's going to be a painful revelation that you can't trust people all the time. You can't believe everything you hear. Sometimes words are just words. People need to put their money where their mouth is. You need to see actions before you believe in a fantasy. You're going to trust your first instinct instead of loving someone unconditionally and thinking that they'll be a better person. You're going to learn the cold, hard truth that when somebody says they're somebody, they are. You're going to take them for what they are. You're going to stop being led to the slaughter blindly. So you're going to learn the hard way. That just is what it is. And the truth be told, this person will not love you back the way you love them. There's a lot of emotional detachment here. Underneath the Five of Pentacles is the Eight of Swords. Feeling trapped and stuck and unable to get away from this connection, even though the owl, which represents your intuition, says you're free, get the fuck out. Listening to it. Then you have the Five of Swords, conflict, which means how many times are you going to fight for this? How many times are you going to feel like everything's against you? This is a hollow victory. Every time you win the fight for this connection, it's still a loss because no one's celebrating with you, not even them. You fight for them, but they don't fight for you. That's a hollow victory. And then you have where we started from the beginning of our reading today. Bottled up emotions. You have a lot of this built up in you, and a lot of it's frustration, tears, and heartbreak, but most of it's just truth. And the truth will set your emotions free. Accepting it. Maybe today you can hear this reading and say, I need to listen to my intuition. Or maybe you need to listen to a better guide. Maybe you just need to listen to yourself. I don't know what you need. I don't know what you need, but I know what's going on. And this Ace of Cups is there's another happy love for you. It's just this isn't it. If you're willing to see things through the Queen of Swords eyes, you're going to get this. You will. It's inevitable. It's the law of the universe. This right here is a valley. You're stuck in a valley. And you're going to have to climb your way out. But at the peak, again, when you get to a peak, you're going to see things clearly. You're going to stand at the top of that mountain and you're going to look around like the Queen of Swords and everything's going to make sense. Everything's going to be clear. The reason you suffered, the reason you met this person, the reason you walked this journey, all of those were not losses. They were lessons. And you're going to wake up and just be so happy and enlightened with yourself and life and joyful and in the moment. And you're just going to be in love with yourself, in love with spirit. And you're going to meet someone that's going to love you because Spirit always gives you a blessing after a lesson. That's the truth. That, and you can hate whatever, but that is the truth. After the lesson comes the blessing. Say it all country if you want. All right? Keep it in your notebook. After the lesson comes the blessing. That's how they say it in Texas. Y'all. But you know what I mean? I'm sure you do. And so I'm not telling you not to go through this. I'm not saying stop, even though I don't want you to suffer, and I do kind of wish you would stop doing this. At the same time, I'd be an idiot teacher. I'd be a fool to tell you what to do. Because how the fuck is that helping you? This is your journey. All I know is here's the facts. I've revealed it to you. What are you going to do? The rest is up to you. I just handed you. Here's the truth. Take it where you want. Take it where you want to go. That's not my part of the journey. My part of the journey is just showing you, and that's it. I wanted to be the light. That's what I asked for. That's what Jamini is. The language of light. I'm sorry, that's what Joytish is. A language of light. That's it. The rest is you. I'm going to pull you an oracle card. And then I'll move on to the last reading. Thank you for the inspiration of this video. To all of you that did comment your frustrations and lessons with love, because it did lead to me being inspired to do a reading like this. So that's thanks to you guys. Bottom of the deck is the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which, by the way, is the throat chakra, the chakra of truth, knowledge, wisdom, and communication. The other card that came out says Angel of Balance in reverse. You guys are already putting this together 2 and 2. Are you being led by winged angels? Yes. You are being led by the winged angels. You've got 2 of them. 2 angels trying to guide you. So there is some guidance there. Look what's under that, a broken heart in the upright. And you know it's true. You know it's true. You definitely have a connection with the pyramids. There's something there for you. Past life connection. Okay. Let's go ahead and reveal. Number 48. Being centered and self-honoring your choices. In this position, the Angel of Balance comes with a loving warning that something may be seriously out of proportion in your life. It could be an important emotional component, such as the lack of self-acceptance or self-care. Remember, however, that when you put yourself last, the universe will do likewise. And that's an important lesson. When you put yourself last, the universe will likewise. What I learned in church, what I learned in school, being brought up, believing in spiritual things, it was always your angels will save you. God sees every tear. Comfort will come to those that mourn. That Spirit's going to come and save you, basically. And that's how a lot of people are just taught. Well, if I'm putting myself last, I'm suffering. I'm having a difficult life. I'm mourning. Therefore, Spirit will be my comfort. Therefore, Spirit will come and save me. And my angels. And they're going to protect me. And I won't be hurt by this person. I won't be hurt by these experiences. Now, I'm upset that growing up, I've had to learn that's a lie. Those words are not in the Bible. Although for those who mourn, there will be comfort is. The words of God coming to save you is not in the Bible. The words that you will be protected is technically put in the Bible. There's a lot of other words around it. What the church has failed to teach his people is that the Lord works in mysterious ways. That comfort may come in the form of knowledge. That comfort may come in the form of a good cry, a good releasing of your emotions. That may be comfort. And that protection may be God's rejection of what you want. They don't teach those things very much. It's not very popular because it doesn't sound very fun. But I've had to learn the hard way that that is not how it works. So when it says here, you put yourself last, the universe will do likewise, that's an important lesson I wish or spirituality would teach more often. If you grew up learning that what you give out, you get in return, you would probably be acting a much better way. So they would have saved you a lot of tears and a lot of pain if they would have told you, God's not going to come save you, you need to save yourself. But don't worry, God is in you. If you were told that versus just know that the Lord's coming to protect you, you would probably be feeling a lot differently right now than you would be like this. Feeling alone and isolated and forgotten and rejected, in pain and suffering and not knowing why you're suffering because you're such a great person. If you would have been taught differently in school, which I think they should teach spirituality in school, as far as soul growth and the law of attraction and the way the universe really works, just understand that this aloneness, isolation, and suffering is just going to put you out of balance, because that's all you're going to get from the universe. They're not going to come save you and send you a phone call from them or a letter or an apology or a comfort. Spirit's not going to come down and force that person to come to you, because Spirit's going to intervene with a tower and knock them on their ass and force them to come to you or else. If you've been taught any of that, you've been taught wrong. And that's why the towers come, to wipe us out of our belief system and our foundation and our thoughts that sucked, that got us in this place. And then the tower comes to say, are you awake yet? Because that shit's a lie. And the universe wants to do likewise, so do good for yourself so the spirit world can do likewise. Like attracts like for you. So receiving this card reversed can oftentimes be a warning of lost energy, calling you to relax more, sleep more, or even just drink more water. Investigate how you may be out of balance in your time and energy regarding the externals and internals of your life. The other cards around you can talk about some particulars, which we did. You're out of balance in your relationship and connection. That's the particulars, okay? You're too obsessed with this relationship, and it's overtaken you. This loving angel can help bring you the courage and wisdom you need to break such toxic patterns. Meditate on the angel's presence and visualize her pouring a beautiful liquid light through all your chakras, balancing them and bringing them in balance for peace. Remember that you always have the power to bring things back into a peaceful balance. Which the Queen of Swords, which is who you will be soon, or maybe are now, already knows this. She learned about bringing them into a peaceful balance. She just had to break away, cut away this situation. That's all. She just had to detach. So anyways, that's part of your message. I know it's difficult to hear. A lot of you have questions like, well, if that's how spirituality works, why do we have angels? What are they? What is God? What is this hierarchy? What is this power? Why are we taught that they're protectors? It's very technical in my opinion. They are protectors, but only when you call on them and use them. When you ask for truth and guidance, they're going to be there. When you listen, that's why Jesus said, those who have eyes hear, those who have eyes see, and those who have ears hear. Because only certain people are in tune to the angels in the spirit world. Every single human isn't. And so for people that are suffering, like, well, why do we have angels? Well, they're there when you need them. But they're not going to force you or your lover to do something different. They're going to advise you. They're going to touch your heart spiritually. They're going to send vibes into your chakras. They're going to send a vibe where it's needed, a healing, loving vibration, or a peace, or a revelation, or a truth. But one thing angels don't do is do the job for you. And one thing angels don't do is force people to do things. They don't force people. They have to be asked and welcomed in. So they can bring signs, synchronicities. They can make a picture fall in front of someone so you know they're there. They can bring feathers around you. They can bring little symbols or trinkets that remind you of something to let you know they're there. They can speak to you through animals, through trees, through dreams. They can even give you a premonition. If you welcome an angel or ascended master or spiritual guide into your life, they will know that you have an open door, and they can give you a premonition, which can come in the form of a feeling, an intuition, a dream, to prevent you as a form of protection, to prevent you from getting into a car accident. They speak to your higher self. It's like they cross timelines. They show you something you don't remember consciously. So subconsciously, you've already been here, done this, but you can't remember because that's a higher vibrational part of yourself that's not here right now in the conscious. So it's hard for us humans to be aware of our past, present, and future, which are all one timeline, which we've already visited and know, but we don't know consciously. And so we get confused in our awakeness, being conscious and being aware in this world in the 3D. So your spirit angel can come to you and send a vibration or a healing message that can give you a premonition, which feels like deja vu. And it's really your higher self communicating with spirit guides, ascended masters, or angels, trying to help you be aware. Sometimes it's just yourself, a higher self. But for a lot of you, you know there is angels as well. Now for this person, you know, they're obviously connected to angels, where some people are not. So whether it's an angel or your higher self, just know that those signs are coming in. Okay, so this loving angel is going to help you guys balance. Let's go ahead and see what's up with this one. The 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, the one that blows the trumpet and the horn to let you know Judgment Day is here. In the Bible, Gabriel blows, he's the archangel that blows the trumpets for the second coming of Christ, which is basically being told to us in the Bible to say, in the Great Awakening, in the great spiritual war, the second coming, which is like a war, you will hear trumpets. It will be Gabriel. And he is the one that awakens you and alerts you, much like the Tower card. So he's in reverse, so let's see what's up with that. Number 39. Oh, Sadasman, I kept you up all night. I am so sorry. This card reversed also indicates significant blocks in the throat center. Something in your history may have caused you to shut down, but it's important now to break through that unhealthy pattern, or you may currently be in a situation where the free sharing of your ideas, opinions, or feelings is being thwarted, which is being stopped or not listened to, ignored. In addition to the fear of self-expression, this card reversed could indicate physical throat problems, as all the chakra cards reversed may signal difficulties in that area of your body. So a sore throat, a cough, also feeling like you're unable to speak, may lose your voice. Also just the spiritual meaning of you're not speaking your truth, expressing your truth, or acknowledging your truth. The physical trouble may be connected to blocking your energy, and it's very important to work on clearing the energy in the center involved. To clear the throat chakra, call upon Gabriel and meditate on his power, blasting through any blocks. See your throat center spinning in a beautiful blue light. Muster up the courage to speak your truth to yourself and those around you. It's time to let go of any fear of confrontation or any fear of the truth and stand up for yourself from now on. So a lot of you guys, non-Monglik and Monglik, the fear of the truth is the obvious. This isn't going to work. It doesn't mean you didn't have a purpose at a time with one another. It doesn't mean you couldn't share something with one another. It was an experience. It was a lesson. It was a love. It was a passion. It made you different. It created a different part of you. It served its purpose, or it is serving its purpose. And you will be reborn anew, just not with them. Just not with them. And so the awakening of this energy is just that truth you don't want to deal with. And that's the Hermit in reverse. Because you would much rather just believe that this is going to make it through hell and high water. And that's another misbelief. People think that twin flames make it through hell and high water. People think twin flames are blessed beyond measure and are the most blessed of relationships. I don't know what channel you heard that from or where you believed that from, but that's not the truth. These are some of the most tumultuous relationships. It's the most self-serving relationships on the planet. Yeah, twin flames are the most self-serving because it's all about self. It's all about freaking self, man. It is one soul in two bodies. You bet your ass it's about self. Soul, uno, self. Solo, soul. One soul, one solo, two bodies. So there's a lot of hell and high water. So fighting to be part of an illusion that you think is magical and powerful and monumental and will stand the test of time is something you're going to learn the hard way. All you can do is take this reading that I've given you, get the information, and get on track. Stop being off track and stubborn to learn, stubborn to grow. I hope my inspiration for you about loving that person I had to let go of is this card. It took me a very long time, and now he's dead. He's gone before I can really realize our purposes. Yeah, I ended it with him before he died. But still loved him, and like I said, we still wouldn't have been able to keep our hands off each other. But realizing that we were not meant for each other didn't hit me till I was analyzing our lives and facing my fears about him and the other person that was really better suited for him. Because I loved him so much, I believed we could get through anything. And that I honestly, love sees through all things. And because I loved him more than anything, that's what I believed. Love has different faces, doesn't it? And love does see through all things. Goddamn right it does. Just not the way we want it to see through all things. That's the lesson. And say that in your head with me. The way we want love to see through all things is different than the way love will see through all things. Our definition of unconditional love, our expectation of it is not what it is. Now, looking back, love did see us through all things because I love him no matter hell or high water. Still do. In a loving, spiritual, soulmate kind of way. I would still run up to him, hug him, and kiss him today. Or in the afterlife. That's still there. Didn't go away. Did not go away. But now I can love him and let him live a better life. Now, if he was still alive, at this place where I am, I could love him and say, be with her. And I hope you have a long, happy life. That's unconditional love. It's through death, it's through togetherness, and it's through separation. Hopefully that's the definition of this unconditional love. That no matter who you are, where you are, who you're with, or what we are, I love you. And there's no hate, no anger, no me bringing up the past, no me being triggered, no me being aggravated or bothered or whatever, some type of way. That's the unconditional love that does see through all things. And it is true and it is real. But humans have a very stubborn way of seeing it that way and not seeing it in the fairy tale way of, I love this person and I know our love will withstand this hardship. The Queen of Swords says, like me sharing my story with you, sit down. Let me share a story with you. Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you how Snow White really ended. Let me tell you how Sleeping Beauty really ended. Let me tell you the real story, the Grimm tales. You know? She's like, let me tell you where these fairy tales all stemmed from. Let me tell you the truth. Because the Disney fairy tales you have in your mind are not it. And we all have to get to that place. Because we do tend to live in a loving fantasy. Which is beautiful, but you know, and it's your path, it's your walk of life. I get it. I get it. You do you, guys. You have the information, you do what you want. You will get where you need to be when you need to get there. And that's the end of that story. That is for you. Okay. Last one. We're going to make it a little quicker here. Starting to get dark here. I got to hurry the hell up. Monglik and a Monglik. What will your story be? Spirit, guide me and direct me for the Mongliks. Oops. Guide me and direct me for the Mongliks. Sagittarius is popping out already. If there's any Saggies out there. Nine of Wands popped out. Major, Braveheart. The Wounded Warrior. Spirit, please guide me for the Monglik people. The Monglik persons. And if you've missed part 1, you missed what a Monglik is. Please go to part 1 to learn what a Monglik is. I also have other videos on that, but check it out or you're not going to maybe follow as well as you would have knowing part 1 first. I'll try to put that in the title. Okay. All right. For those of you that want to know more about astrology, I make it easy to learn. I have Astrology 101. I'm going to teach you how to read your birth chart. I'm going to teach you about the planets and the zodiac signs and some small little knowings and predictions for yourself. Some things you should know about your chart and the soul contract. We're going to talk about connections between you and others as well. as far as compatibility. So if you're interested in learning that for yourself, please go to jks1111.com. Oh, it starts September 10th, 7 p.m. If you can't make it to the live class, you can get a recording. And you're also going to receive a free question to answer for your life, which is basically a free little mini reading included in your purchase of the class. So go ahead, jks1111.com. Okay. You are really energetic, lady. I think I'm just getting back to myself, guys. I've always been a little crazy like this, but I'm getting back to me. Back to my normal self. Holy Spirit, please guide and direct me for the Monglik people. What is their story? Okay. Yep. All right. Whoops. Kind of spread it out too much there. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Monglik people, Ace of Wands. Well, damn. Doesn't that describe you guys? We all know the wand represents the phallus in tarot. I'm going to leave it alone there. Anyways, you guys overall, under all, have a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of lust and determination for one another. You guys are fearless. You're ready to face whatever it is you want to face to get what you want. Need to face to get what you want. You're ready to pick up your wand and fight. You're ready to pick up your wand and walk. You're no stranger to hard work. You're no stranger to long distances. You're no stranger to determination, and it doesn't matter what someone tells you, what you've done, what you've learned. When your heart is on fire for someone, you're going to go after them. And there's nothing and no one in the universe that can take you down or tell you different. Strong-willed Monglik people. And it's why? Because Mars is obviously in those placements. What? What? Soon. Go potty. My goodness. So we have the Fool card, Aries energy, Monglik much, Mars ruled. Bottled up emotions for you as well, just like the general reading and the last reading. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Wands in reverse. Damn it, 10 of Cups in reverse. My favorite card. The Sun card under the Fool. Queen of Cups under Bottled Emotions. Marriage card in reverse. Three of Pentacles, Progress. And 10 of Wands, Burden. Readers, first things you're going to notice is 3, 3, 10, 10. A 3 on top of a 3 and a 10 on top of a 10. The bottom is upright, the top is in reverse. You expected to have a happy marriage and a very happy relationship with this person that you've been in love with. You expected, honestly, truthfully, a marriage that would last, passion that will last even longer, true soulmate vibes, a baby or a few, a home and a family and a life. You saw it, you envisioned it, and you want it. But it didn't happen that way. There's a major, 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 major letdown, 10 of Wands. This is the biggest burden of your life that you didn't get that. That didn't happen for you. And nothing pisses you off more than knowing that this was a fail. You want to go back and fix it. You want to analyze it, adjust it, redo it. You want to pursue it, change it, pray for it. transform it, grow it, whatever. You're willing to do anything. You're willing to swim to the farthest depths. You're willing to go to the furthest space to get answers, to get healing, to get help. There's nothing you won't do. There's nothing you haven't tried. You've tried every avenue available that you know about. And none of it fixed it. None of it worked. You are tired, exhausted, beaten down, worn out, really trying to throw in that towel. And if you're not there, you're going to get there. Because the disappointing outcome is 10 of Cups in reverse. That's a really fucking disappointing outcome. I was really hoping for a 10 of Cups in the upright or something really good. But let's keep going anyways. You are right now excited, energetic, and fearless. The Fool and the Sun card are just take a leap of faith, open your heart, super happy, super charged. Both of you have the energy of creation and creativity. New beginnings, fresh new starts. It's really excited. You're always determined. This is your will, your drive that you have. This is the fire in your belly towards believing you can change anything. You have a lot of built up emotions, and so does your person about each other. And the truth is, that is the honest truth. There is so much underneath the surface between your guys' relationship that is the problem. And you know it's the problem. Share your heart with me. Share your love with me. We love each other more than anything in this world. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I know you love me. You love me. I know you do. Speak it, say it, do something. Open up, please. You're both knowing that the reason this thing is such a pain in the ass, the reason your relationship is so stopped right now is all because someone or both of you will not share, will not look at, will not deal with, will not face the true love feelings you have with the Queen of Cups in the upright. This is the most beautiful love you've both ever had. It really is. It is the most affectionate, most warm, most spiritual, most beautiful, loving connection that you both will experience in this life. This is the one. You are the one. This person is the one, and you both know it, yet it's hidden. Tarot's not always a happy story, is it? The truest love not being shared. And then we have Four of Pentacles, which is letting go, not having stability, not having a foundation, not having certainty or security in what? Marriage. The reason you guys are not happy is not for a lack of passion, sex, or romance. It's not for a lack of holding hands, kissing, making love, snuggling, dreaming, and laughing together. That's not the reason you're not happy and having a hard struggle. The reason you're not happy in this relationship is because there's no commitment. And there won't be. I'm sorry. There's a denial here somewhere. There's divorce written all over this relationship, separation, and maybe both of you coming from divorce and separation. But either way, there is a denial of certain commitment. That old-fashioned traditional commitment. That's not saying you guys can't be happy. Look at Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. Happy as fuck, but not married. Been together for what, 40 years? has grandchildren. They're a beautiful couple. There's a lot of couples out there, guys, that are not married. Unfortunately, for these Mongliks, there is no marriage. Maybe it's because somebody's already legally married and can't get divorced. I just saw a chart done on, what was his name, George Newman? No. Something like that. Paul Newman. No, maybe. Anyways, it was a famous actor. Oh no, it wasn't him. It was that Western guy. What was the famous Western guy? He did all the Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood and some woman that starred in a lot of his movies. It says Going Anywhere But Nowhere. It was a movie like that. Going Everywhere But Anywhere. Something movie like that. I looked into his chart and shit. He was in love with this woman who was married. She was legally married to someone. And they had a relationship for decades. They even lived together. She was still married. Come to find out, who she was married to, he was gay. I don't get it. She married a gay guy before she met Clint Eastwood. And then she got on Clint Eastwood's good side, ended up in a lot of his movies. And they stayed together and she moved in and everything. And the husband was okay with it. Well, he was gay. I don't know. I don't know their life. But I read that and I thought that was interesting. And I'm not saying at all that is this situation, because it's probably not. Hello. But I'm just saying they had a intimate, successful relationship, living together, just not being married. Believe it or not. And it was a shit show. It was probably a shit show relationship. I mean, my question is this. Clint, he's probably a Monglik. She's a Monglik. Fuck yeah, they're a Monglik. But he could have any woman he wanted. He could have had 10 kids, a gorgeous wife. I mean, Clint Eastwood is hot. I don't know if you saw his younger movies, but goddamn, okay? He was like 6 foot something. He had amazing arms. He always had his shirt off because clearly his chest and his abs were just banging like 24/7, 365. He had a tan. He had the hair. He had the smile. Okay, I'm done. Clint Eastwood was the shit for his time. And he ends up with this girl who's not even the shit. She was okay. She wasn't on his level. He was out of her league. Well, maybe not completely. She had a very nice body. And I just want to say, if Clint Eastwood was a Monglik, which I know he was, because obviously, he is a prime example of Mars in the first house. In a minute. So he was Mars in the first house. Go potty.
On my TV. I don't know how to work the TV.
Okay, ask Sissy. Mariah!
Mom?
Yeah.
I want to watch something on that other TV and I can't find the remote.
Well, look on the table. Go pee. I don't want you seeing the little pee-pee dance. Go. Go. I'm right here. Nothing to be scared of. Go. Sorry. I don't know where I was at. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways, yeah, Mars in the first house. That's probably him. I'm going to move on from that. I'm just going to leave it alone, and I'm going to tell you that just because you can't have this marriage, it's denied, or there's an issue here, does not mean you cannot have a relationship with this person. I need you to accept that because your expectation is very different from the truth, much like the non-Monglik and Monglik reading, but obviously different. This particular relationship has soulmate vibes in it with the 10 of Cups. Okay, it has soulmate vibes, and it's a struggle because you really want commitment. Marriage. It's not traditional. It's not going to happen. Or this is just going to end up in divorce and still seeing each other. Just like I explained with my soulmate and me. Even if we were separated, we still would have been, you know, seeing each other. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. Being honest with you. So that could be it as well. I mean, I hate to say it, but Monglik relationships can be a mess. And sometimes they can be really beautiful. This particular reading is not exactly a really beautiful one. Okay, it's just not the marriage one. Okay, it's not the one where you guys get married and live great, because that can happen with Mongliks. Yes, it can. It can happen. But this particular reading, it's not. And the biggest signs that I see here is Cancer and Leo, Aries, and Capricorn. Cancer, Leo, Aries, and Capricorn. Wait a minute. Was that the same signs earlier in the general reading? I don't know. I don't remember, but I feel like it's deja vu, and I feel like I said this before. Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Aries. I feel like I said that today, maybe 2 hours ago, earlier in the reading. I don't know. I don't remember, but it feels just like it. Anyways, let's get the bottom three. Holy shiitake mushrooms. You guys, you little fucks. Look at you. Look at you. Just like the Mongliks with the non-Mongliks. You little freaking shits. You get the desire card. Of course you do. Because you're the fucking Mongliks. Okay? You get that. And they have the Queen of Swords. You get the King of Swords in the reverse. All right, so you get this little pretty number. I wish this was a different energy though, because he's in reverse, not upright. And I kind of liked their ending in the upright with the Queen of Swords, because it means they're kind of going to let it click and they're kind of going to get it. It's going to make sense to them, and they're going to see clearly. Now this one under here is kind of like, I don't know if you're ever going to see clearly. And some readings are just truthful and honest and ugly. But this means you're never going to see it clearly. You guys are crazy. I'm sorry, Mongliks. You're crazy. You're crazy, you're willful, and you're in love. And that's it. That's it. You're never going to see it any other way. Period. Stubborn, stubborn. I felt it over here at the Ace of Wands. That's it. Strong-willed child, strong-willed person. Game over. Close shop. You don't care. You are a fighter. You're a Monglik. You're a fighter for love. Nothing's going to detour you. Is this relationship going to end up in a happy position where you get what you want? No. Are you ever going to stop trying? No. You believe in making progress. You believe because you believe because you believe. And this is the power of the Fool and the Sun card. Very fiery. You want to create your own world, your own universe. You are unstoppable force. You love this person with all your heart, body, and soul. You have the desire card. There's nothing keeping you. This is more important than anything. And to be honest, the person that I'm reading for, you definitely, your Mercury or your moon is conjunct with your Mars. I have to be honest. Your Mercury or your moon. Because the way you think is the way you feel. And you will be driven all heart. That's it. And you know, and here's the truth. You know that your person's being a liar. Or you're being a liar, however this works. Someone is not honest with themselves. Someone is in absolute denial about this great love. And you know that this is true love. And you know that they're not admitting it. Or they're not letting it out. They're not expressing it. But it's true love. It's true. And it is true because you do have the 10 of Cups. But in the end, it's just very unhappy. But you know this is what it is. So it's it's like that part in the movie, What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams and his soulmate. And he gets told by the angels and his son and his spirit guides, don't go there and save her. There's no saving her. There's no saving her. She's lost. She's damned in there. She's in her own hell. She'll never find her way out. It's never been done. You need to leave, or you're going to get stuck here with her, and you're not going to be with your children who have also passed on. He said, nope, no, basically, F you, goodbye, tell my kids I love them, I'm not leaving my soulmate. And his spirit guy was like, what, are you crazy? Are you insane? Are you nuts? What is your problem? Are you going to turn down heaven for hell? That's what it was. You have to watch the movie What Dreams May Come. And he said, yep, that's what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm telling you. I'm going to give up heaven for hell because I would rather spend hell and eternity with her than in heaven without her. I fucking love her that much. She's everything you don't understand. You don't understand our love. You don't understand us. That's what this will and determination is. You have the firepower with the Ace of Wands. Please stop pacing. And this Queen of Cups is the ultimate true love. I love your passion and tenacity and determination. I love this story. Are you sane? No. Are you logical by any means from any other person? Nope. Are you grounded and balanced? Well, Temperance says no. No, you're not. You're not grounded and balanced. Sorry, but no. You're crazy in love, Nine of Cups. What's that? Strength. Oh, shit. There's the Strength card. There's that strong Leo. Crazy in love. That's it. That's it. That's it. And you know what? Nothing else describes a Monglik better than this reading. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to understanding what the mind and determination of a Monglik is. Stubborn, all heart, willing to conquer anything, and the challenge only drives them further. They will put their flag and conquer what it is they seek. That's Mars. Mars is very present in this reading.
Are you gonna go
No.
What?
No, I'm doing this.
I know, but when you're done.
No,
Why?
because it's already getting late.
Kinda noticed that.
Yeah, and I still have stuff to do.
Alright, so how long are you still gonna be working for?
I'm ending up here soon. It doesn't matter because even if we went there to go get it tonight, you wouldn't be able to do it tonight.
Because
Wait for the pictures. No, you'd have to wait. So I'm not in a rush to go there for you tonight, and I'm sorry that it's on the back burner, but we will when we can. Okay? I love you.
Alright, love you too.
Thank you for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so anyways, this is a very strong Mars Monglik couple, and I just have to say, is there love there? Yes, you both love each other. I do think someone's not expressing it, or you're not expressing it, and you're determined somehow, some way to see that they express it someday, or you may just stick around because you know they love you even without admitting it. Whatever this is, it is going to end in not the traditional commitment that you think you would have. And unfortunately, you have to take this reading with a grain of salt today. It's a little bitter. Not a grain of sugar, it's a grain of salt. Because what these tarot cards are showing me is you may be making progress in this connection, but at the end of the day, at the end of your life here, you can be a surrender of how hard you've tried, Mars, here to this Ten of Cups. Because for whatever reason, this person is in denial and not sharing their feelings, and it's an uphill battle. Not that you're scared, because Mars is ready to go. Ace of Wands. Full charge ahead, full speed. I'm going to put my hand in the lion's mouth. He's not going to bite. That's cute, Ollie. So yeah, this is just true love. You know, bitter true love, man. It's just like, this is what I believe. This is how I feel. I don't see it ending in a good way for you. I don't see you getting what you want, Mars. I don't see what you want. I don't see you getting what you want, two Mongliks. But I do see a great love. I do. It's the greatest of love, okay? These two cards, it is the greatest. You are the one in their life. They are the one in yours. And probably the greatest awakening to love that you'll ever experience, because it made your heart feel something you didn't think you could feel. Either again, because you've been through separations, or for the first time. But they've made you feel something that just you didn't think was possible. But you've done the same for them. Keep praying, keep hoping, because who knows where your determination is going to lead you. This card kind of says give it to God, give it to the universe. So this can be seen as a surprise card. This could be a surprise. Because if you release this connection, my two little Mongliks, if you release it, Spirit may surprise you with some form of transformation or blessing. And it's because you're choosing to transform and bless yourself. Remember, how you treat yourself, the universe will likewise. But there are sweet surprises when you give it to Spirit. I do know that, and I know for a fact, whenever you give something to Spirit, you're not going to get something bad in return. You're going to get something good in return. So there's maybe a glimmer of hope in your darkest hour. Let's get a reading here from Spirit for the double Monglik peoples here. The two Mongliks. What is your message? Bottom of the deck, Magician and the Mirror. In reverse, you guys are definitely trying to be a magician. Trying to conjure this up. And the card that comes out for you is the first chakra Archangel Michael. Very Mars driven. You guys are in reverse too. Double reverse, just like the other reading. So no uprights for you there. This is obviously very masculine, very Mars driven. He even looks like Mars. And that first chakra is ruled by Mars. So yeah, you know, this is about foundation and security. You got security here as well. I don't know. Let's read 35. Yep, stability and security is what it says. When this card shows up in the reverse position, you may be facing some significant challenges and even some very difficult emotions. The energy in your first chakra will be blocked, revealing potential fears about safety, feelings of insecurity, or even depression. This blocked energy could also signal financial worry or desperation. Issues of instability can shake you to the very core. So it's going to be important to get energy moving freely through that chakra once again. Call upon the Archangel Michael, the warrior for God, for assistance, and visualize his light power, filling this area and bringing you a greater sense of your own strength and eternal stability. Meditate on the affirmation of your choosing for a sense of security and safety. All right. Yeah, and we did see a lot of pentacles, huh? A lot of you guys in this double Monglik connection also struggle with financials. Like, that's another arena of your life that's not love. But you guys, as separate beings, are making progress on becoming stable. And so that is a part of your journey. So work it out, because you guys cannot be together, two Mongliks with unstable love energies, and adding to that little bomb, infuse it with unstable financial energy, because then that's just a double whammy. People fight over love and money all the time. To have both as a problem would be a bomb. So Spirit's like, we have to really manage this. Maybe start making some progress financially so this can maybe work out in the future. But let's go ahead and read the Magician and the Mirror in reverse. Gemini vibes. By the way, you want to know what's weird? The number 35 and the number 53. They're mirrors. They are absolute mirrors. So these double Mongliks are mirroring each other. I feel like I have to say your strengths are their weakness. And their weakness is your strength. I just feel like you should know that. Okay. Knowing and using your true power. Let me fix this angle. Okay. The Magician and the Mirror reversed is a warning, just a warning, that you may be missing a great opportunity because the time is right, but you're not taking advantage of the creative energy in this cycle. You do have the power to transform things for yourself, to create something, whether a home, business, or family, or life direction. You may be resistant or even disbelieving of some unlimited power that you may possess in another arena. But it's time to wake up. The misinformation and perceived limitations that linger from the past can no longer sustain you. Your life is the mirror, oh God, that reflects your inner energy, yet you have the ability to change what you see. You must fully open to the complete truth of your eternal wisdom, talents, and abilities, and take the risk of believing in yourself. Now is the time to dig deep. Find the confidence and courage inside to make the most of this opportune cycle. You have the resources you need, the unlimited force and power, and the universe at your disposal. It's wanting and waiting for you to recognize and ignite the phenomenal powers that are eternally yours. Okay, so I got a revelation here. I probably fucked up this reading because, yes, I think you are determined, but also for some of you, I think that you don't realize you have the power to pursue this and make progress. And I missed that ship, that boat here earlier. I don't know why I didn't pick up on that till I read the oracle. It is what it is. But for some of you, this Monglik connection is, you know, this person's not admitting how they feel, but you have given up. And that's the Ten of Wands, Ten of Cups reverse. Even though you're making progress and you have the ability to make progress, the expectation card in reverse, Three of Wands, okay, which is this card, says you don't believe in yourself. You're not the captain of your own ship. So I don't know how that message needs to reach the collective, but it's either one or the other for you. Either A, you have so much determination and this may not work out for you in the end, but you're going to keep doing it anyways because you love this person and you know how they feel, whether or not you get the results you want, or it's on the other scenario. You don't think it's going to work. And you lack determination and energy and drive to see this through and fight for this. And you need that because you are the magician and you have the power to make progress and make something happen and make something change based on your belief system. So anyways, I don't know how you guys are going to read this reading, but that's what it is. It's been a long ass reading. I've got to go. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this reading has been helpful for you. Again, if you are not sure if you're a Monglik, please watch part 1 because you missed it, clearly. The thumbnail, not the thumbnail, the app malfunctioned. It just dropped and I had to do a part 2 video because it just zoomed out and closed out and I couldn't resume the live. So Mercury retrograde issues, I'm sure, coming. So anyways, that's the issue. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you want to take an astrology course with me, I have it for beginners. And that is starting in a couple days, September 10th, 7 p.m. Please go to jks1111.com or Cash App. Okay, Cash App is also available to purchase that. You will receive a free reading. Also with that, it's getting a free question. For the 100 Club, I was going to do one later, but since this reading is now at 200 minutes, I think I can't. I think I need to just stop while I'm ahead. It's getting dark. I've been on here for hours. I have shit to do in the house. I've got to get it done. I've got to get shit done. I've got to cook dinner. It's running late. So if you please don't mind, I can't do that right now, but that is the very next reading that I will be doing. What does this say? Does Monglik been canceled when you're under 28? No. 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 The Monglik is even more powerful when you're under the age of 32. At 32 years old is when Mars matures. Not that he's super mature ever, but he matures more at 32, okay? So if you're under the age of 28, you have a little while to go. No, it's not canceled. It's probably stronger. So anyways, guys, yeah, I hope you like this reading. Let me know in the comments. I hope this answered some questions. I hope these readings gave you some revelations on stuff. This one was kind of like a double. I don't know, like it was for some people that's just not going to end well, but they're going to go anyways. And for some people, get the fire under your ass. This can work. So you have to see what works for you. Again, the signs that popped up, Aries, Leo, Cancer, and Capricorn. Wait, no. Aries, Leo, Cancer. Yeah, I guess Capricorn. Okay, so anyways, those were the energies there. Keep swimming, guys. Just keep swimming. Like and subscribe to my channel, please, if you haven't already. Share the reading. Share it on your Facebooks, Instagrams. Let people know about it. You know, like these videos. It helps keep the channel going. Comment. It certainly circulates a little bit more. And yeah, you're welcome, Christina. You're welcome, everybody. Please enjoy. Hopefully it wasn't too harsh on you guys. I hope it wasn't. If you missed a great deal of this reading, please go to part 1, start from the beginning, and just let it roll through. This reading had a lot of good stuff in it. It's a very solid reading. And it's just full of information to help your life astrologically too. So yeah, don't miss out just because you watch the end. Please go back and see what else is up. And if you guys want to purchase anything else, please go to jks1111.com. Donations are appreciated. Anything you can do to support this channel is super needed at this time, even if it's $2. This channel's dropped a lot of subscribers because me being sick and out of work here for about 3 weeks from COVID. I just lost a lot of subscribers, lost a lot of stuff. There's a lot of refunds going on, and it was just a shitty ass time. So support, support, support. If you're still waiting on something, please comment in the comments or email me. Let me know. Give me a chance to get this thing cleared up between us. I'm trying to get back on track with my life, recovering. I feel much better. I'm basically my old self again, but still my life has been in shambles from being quarantined for like 3 weeks. So I'm still getting on the ball with like everything. So cut me some slack, guys. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Love you so much. Bye.